What is the origin of that last name? Viking?
It's made up. It was my grandparents changed it from something else. It was just like wanted a shorter last name. So
Do you know what they changed it from?
So my grandma didn't want a long Polish last name when she married my grandpa, and it was like Oliaszewski or something. So she was like, because she was like German descent. So she didn't want Polish.
Some bad ties to that, huh?
I guess. I don't fucking know. So that was my dad's side. They actually used to live in Austin. They retired down here.
Really?
Yeah, they died a couple decades ago or something. I don't know, a while ago. But yeah, it was. So yeah, it's not a last name. It's just bullshit.
Technically, you're an Austinite then, huh? It's in your blood.
Sort of, I guess. Yeah, a little bit.
We'll do a soft intro. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, Markus Olind. Or Olinder, if you want to get Irish with it.
Get Irish with it, dude.
So you are Polish?
I'm German, actually. I was born in Germany. So my mom's 100% German. So like her last name is Herde, which is Heerde, which is more German. But yeah, I was born over there. And then I moved here when I was 5. So yeah.
Do you speak German?
I do speak German.
You speak Germanese?
Germanese.
Dude. Is that one of those things where people instantly are like, say something in German? And then you just flex on them?
There's either that or like my mom will call me and I'll just be speaking German and they'll be like, they'll just like freak out. And then when I'm done on the phone, they'll be like, dude,
Jewish
what the
friends?
hell? Any friends, really.
They get goosebumps.
I had a friend who was, Muslim or whatever. And he's known me for a while. He even knows I'm German, but like, I just don't think people think I'm telling the truth, really. Like, they think I'm fucking with them or something. I'm like, nah,
Maybe if you're like, I'm African American.
Yeah, then, but then if I were on the phone, speaking Aborigine or whatever, then maybe they'd be like, oh, okay, all right, that's fair. So, but yeah, I mean, it only comes out when it needs to. I'm not going to run around speaking. No one here speaks German, so what the fuck am I going to do,
You go to Wurstfest and...
Yeah, we went to, because we live in Pflugerville, and they had like a German fest up there we went to. And that was, I mean, it was not the most authentic whatever, but it was fun. It was something to do,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, like, that's the other thing because me and my girlfriend are so busy doing comedy and working that sometimes it's like, we got to do something not comedy or work.
Yeah.
We got to maybe, you want to go to this German fest? And she's like, no, but you do. So, I'm like, all right, well, will you come with me so I'm not just alone? It's like, okay, all right.
Do you dress up in like?
No, I don't have lederhosen. I'm not from that part of Germany.
Yeah.
Like that's South Germany. That's like Bavaria, right?
Okay.
It's like a cowboy hat. It's only the South.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like where I'm from in Germany. There's just no. I don't want to say there's no culture, but there's no that culture.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the big beer shits and the fucking this and that. We're just like boring car people. Like I'm from like the North area where there's a lot of like industry and a lot of that. So.
Do you try to balance comedy with a regular life? Like, like the importance of like, I need this to be balanced and not just 100% in comedy?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm not one of those people who's like, will give up stage time to go to a concert or something like that. Because they're like, oh, are you going to write a joke about this concert? Not really. You're probably not. But I mean, there's just things where it's like, this is probably a good thing for us to do. Like, it's like the taking a day off thing where it's like, you got to force yourself. So it's like, I definitely don't have like the balance that would be ideal according to a fucking psychiatrist or something. Yeah. But like, you try to find your own balance. But yeah, you have to force it. Because otherwise it's just like, you're going to end up taking a day off you didn't want to. And those days off are the most miserable. Because then you're sitting at home like, well, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
I should be doing something. So it's like, if you're going to a concert, at least you're doing something. You're not just sitting at home depressed. But
yeah.
I
always think it's funny because you start seeing a trend in some jokes where comedians start doing jokes about comedy, and that's all it is. And it's like, I was doing this show and blah 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 blah, and it's like, oh, dude, you got to go.
Yeah. So I mean, the show I did yesterday there were more comics there than. It was an open mic where he books a headliner.
Oh, those are great. Yeah, comedy for comedians.
So I did a joke about doing comedy for comedians is like strippers stripping for other strippers. Yeah, they're like, we get it, we have tits too. And that's a joke I developed at open mics in LA when it's only comics. Yeah. So you're doing it so much, it starts, like you were saying, it starts to turn into that.
Yeah.
So I just did it there because I was like, I got to do 30 minutes and it's a lot of, so fuck it. But yeah, I mean, when I was in LA, I did a lot of mics and you start feeling the diminishing returns and you start feeling like I'm not even really writing. I didn't get anything out of that mic that I paid to do. right? So you're like,
were you hitting like fourth wall, Bert's back?
Yes, fourth wall.
When were you in LA?
I moved there December 2019. So you can do the math on that timing.
Dude, we probably were in some of the same rooms if you're hitting like Bert's and fourth wall.
Comedy Office.
Okay,
you know, all the ones, all the shitty ones. No offense to any people who run those places.
Big offense. You know, they're profiting off of it.
Hey, man, you know, you got to make your money in LA. Yeah. That's the shitty thing is like there's just people who are so desperate to not die in LA that they're like, I bet I can charge $5 to comics to do time. And we're like,
stay time.
I bet I can afford $5 to do some time. It's just this hellscape of an economy. But
yeah, I remember telling my parents because I was in Ventura. And I would drive like off the one. It was like a small beach town, like off the 101.
I lived in Canoga Park in the valley.
Yeah.
So we would drive through Ventura, I think, to get to LA.
Okay.
I think. I wasn't there that long. So again, I don't know the geography that well.
But I would drive I was further out. So I don't think I was in like near Canoga. It was like an hour and a half drive to get to LA.
Oh, so you were north of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
But I would drive there and then I would stay there all night. Like me and two buddies, we would drive there. We would book all the paid spots that you had to pay for. And it was like, we're going to do 10 minutes here. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to do a 6-minute set here. Then we're going to go back here. And they got a 12-minute set for $10.
Yep.
So we're going to do that. We're saving money at this point. No bargain deals. And then we would hit. It was dope because you would hit so many different spots and just the practice of feeling the nerves and doing that set. But then my dad would be like, I'd like call him and he'd be like, oh, how's that comedy thing going? You know how parents get with it.
Oh, yeah. That's not even that bad.
No, yeah.
That's somewhat encouraging.
But then he would go, you getting paid for these spots? And I'd be like, quite the contrary.
Yeah,
I'm paying to get
actually.
And he'd be like, huh, all right, you know, damn. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have the balls to tell my dad I'm paying to do spots. But yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. Like, I guess somebody tried to do that down here when the LA invasion first started, and that got shut down real quick. So
I was happy to see that.
I was super happy to hear that because that happened like I guess before we got here. But yeah, dude, because once that starts, you can't turn it off. Really.
Yeah. Was that at Romo? Rest in peace.
I'm not sure. Let's say it was because it's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we don't have to blame. An active room for trying to fuck this place up, but
yeah, it is interesting. Because one thing in LA is like you kind of gotta like I think before it was you got to go to LA or New York or these other smaller satellites. But like some of the comedians that would move from, Wyoming and these other small little places, they would be like culture shock of doing a paid room because they're like, we had like 90 people at our open mic because it was the only thing happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, why did I leave that for this?
Yeah, it's a balance thing because it's like Wyoming's the probably like the smallest example you could give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like even if you're in a mid-sized scene, even like Dallas or something like that, right? Like eventually, you see the ceiling, you see, we were in Detroit, you start to see where the plateau is.
Yeah.
You see people who have been in the game there for a long time hitting plateaus and just not advancing. And once you start getting close to that, you got to be like, okay, well, if I hit that plateau, what am I going to do? And how do I prevent myself from hitting that? So that's, you had to go to New York or LA or maybe Chicago. But yeah, Austin's now a new option, so that's cool. Yeah. But that's why we moved to LA because it was like we got to expand, we got to go try new shit. And I knew it was gonna suck. I knew it was gonna be like kind of starting over, but it's still, even if you know that going in, it's still it's like when you start working out, it's gonna suck, but then when you're in the middle of that workout, you're like, oh yeah, this sucks now for real. Like now I'm feeling this suck,
Yeah.
But
you probably developed. Did you and Genevieve both move to LA together?
Yeah, no, not at the same. So I drove out there December 2019, and then she moved out in January of 2020. So she had some stuff still in Michigan, some gigs and stuff.
What a terrible time to move there.
Bro, I know a guy. There's a guy who moved February 2020.
Oh,
and he's one of those like hilarious people who had connections out there and was like getting up at the right spots, and meetings with agents and shit, and like it just, the timing was just wrong, and there's no way to know that, there's no way to predict that, unless you work
pandemic,
unless you work for the World Economic Forum or whatever, which they don't have a good comedy circuit, but so it's like. I feel bad for myself for when I moved, but then, there's people who had it worse. So, you try not to get too down. And then it's like, and then we eventually came down here. So it all worked out just in a weird way,
Probably better in a lot of ways.
Definitely, because when we got to LA, it was so established and the hierarchy was ingrained and it was oversaturated and it was, fucking expensive and you're paying to do and it's like, dude, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
That's tough to get into. So like when we got here, when did you move here?
I moved here April 1st of 2021.
That's exactly when we moved. Really? April. We had an Airbnb in South Austin for 3 months starting April 1st, 2021.
Shut up.
Yeah,
really?
We were in Dallas.
Did you guys plan it April 1st, like poetic, like April Fools?
No, we planned it like that's when the Airbnb was available.
Got it.
Because we had like a under the table thing in Dallas, so it wasn't like we had a lease or anything. We could just go whenever. We were living with a friend basically. So he was like, "Yeah, dude, fucking best of luck."
That's dope.
So yeah, we just I just went on Airbnb and found a place because like we moved to Dallas during the pandemic because we were getting booked there a lot. We knew people, it was happening. There was shit going on. So we're like, okay, we'll go to Dallas. Got a cheap place to live. And then we were there a couple months, and then we started coming to Kill Tony every Monday. And the first time we came I remember this was February 1st, because that's a weird date too in my head. February 1st, 2021, we came down. Genevieve got pulled, crushed it. So then she started getting booked down here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we were coming down here from Dallas once or twice a week, minimum. Yeah. So it was like, I couldn't keep making that. So it was like after her second Kill Tony, which was like the next week, she got up again. So it was like, I just fucking looked up on Airbnb, booked it. And April 1st to June 30th or something. Then, I was like, that'll get us down there. We can find a place. We can figure it out.
Yeah.
So, but
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. And it's like, it just worked out in a weird way where you couldn't have predicted it. But, if we hadn't have come down, if we hadn't have come from Dallas to Austin, if we hadn't have done all this, like, it wouldn't have happened the way it happened. So,
yeah. I feel like there's a lot of stories like that where it just worked out better than what everybody else's plan was. Because mine was just to keep grinding out in Ventura, in LA, and just try. And it's just like, if you're not in LA and you're not hitting spots like 6 nights a week, it's so hard to grind through that.
I mean, even if you're doing that, it's like you got to know the right people.
Yeah.
The knowing people thing in LA, it's important everywhere in every industry. But like comedy in LA, knowing people is more important than even being funny a lot of times, which is the most discouraging thing if you're funny, because you're like, fuck, man, that guy sucks. How is he getting all this shit? And so that gets real discouraging too. And it's like, when you got that beating you down, the money thing beating you down, the traffic and the people and all this shit about LA that's just like not good and not ideal. I mean, it's hard to stay positive about it. Yeah. And then on top of it, it's hard to write well, perform well, do all these things. Yeah. And it's like, is this really the move?
Yeah.
But it's just what everyone thinks you're supposed to do, and it's what you kind of were supposed to do back in the day.
Yeah.
3 years ago. So, but yeah, man, that shit really sucks. But it's like, sometimes you can't plan shit. Like the impromptu, hey, let's just go to Austin and see what happens. Like, sometimes that's going to work better. A lot of times it's going to work better because it's like, this methodical plan that you've developed. It's like, that didn't take so much shit into account. You know what I mean? It didn't take into account, like, in LA, you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
So you can be the funniest guy in Wyoming. But guess what? In Wyoming, or in California, you're just another dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when I get my shot, it's like, when you get your shot, you can crush and make it. Yeah. But that shot's not coming for 18 months.
Yeah.
And and you're not going to know when it comes in 18 months. So you're going to have to be ready. So for the next 18 months, you're going to have to mentally keep yourself in the pocket.
Yeah.
While you're getting your ass kicked every day.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, you can make it in LA.
Yeah.
But like, that's tough.
Yeah.
And can you afford to be in LA for 18 months?
That's the other thing, is the longevity of it.
Yeah.
What is that the fat kid on the internet with the lightsaber, and he's like, it's a war of attrition. Have you seen that clip?
I have not seen. What is this?
It's like this guy pretending to be the Sith Lord, and they're like fighting with a lightsaber. He's like, it's a war of attrition, and he just keeps repeating it. Anyway, it's such a random
I gotta fucking
metaphor.
Check that out. But it's like, comics drop off all the time. It's gonna happen here. It's already happening here. But like, the other thing is they just constantly get replaced by new people.
There's so many new faces since the mothership landed. Mm-hmm. It's wild.
What's funny to me is the people who were like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to go to Austin once it's open. It's like sick. Now it's just as established as LA was, basically, or semi-hierarchically fucking cemented.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, sick, you waited, and now you are just where you would have been in LA. Or where you were in LA, because a lot of them came from LA, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you'd have come here 2 years ago, you'd know every door guy, you'd know every spot, you'd know every mic, you'd be booked on shit already.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just be coming here like, oh, I hope I can get on stage anywhere. It's like, yeah, and you'd have been saving money, developing faster, not fucking around with that LA shit. But it's, everyone has different risk profiles of what they're willing to try to do. And it's like, hey, man, if you're a pussy and you just didn't want to do it till Joe Rogan's club is open.
Shots fired. You heard it here.
For real, dude. If you waited until the club opened to even come to Austin, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's 100% on you. It's like, the people who don't want to be friends with you until you're rich.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same mentality of just like, well, I don't want to go until I know I can get this. It's like, man, if you're going to always wait till the guarantee, you're never going to get anywhere. Yeah. The guarantee takes forever, and it's normally not that good.
I really believe that, like, fortune favors the bold, to be cliche. And, like...
yes.
We really did. A lot of us who came out at the time we did were just like, it was a risk. And it was like, this might not work. It might completely cave in.
Dude, I was straight broke. I had fucking nothing. I was just like, dude, I mean, all we have is our jokes, and this is the only place we can do them right now. Because in Michigan, everything was shut down. And then they would like open for 3 weeks and shut it back down. So it's like when you're trying to book shows with that level of unpredictability, it's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And that drives you crazy too. So it's like, it was kind of like, it was our only option for me. Because I was done with the just sitting around waiting for the governor to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of comics were cool with that. And they were like, oh, you can't do it. So it's like, if you weren't fucking eating yourself alive when you couldn't perform, like, you really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, man, like, you're never going to, whether the pandemic happened or not, it was never going to happen for you. Because you didn't have that, like, drive. If you weren't like, whatever, I'm not trying to make myself sound like some road warrior.
Go for it, dog.
If you're not willing to drive 20 hours, which I just did yesterday, but I did that during the pandemic 5 fucking times.
Yeah.
So I haven't made that drive from Michigan down here in 2 years until yesterday.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was driving, I was like, I fucking hate this fucking drive. And now it's like, I was just like, I have to do it because now we live there. So it was like another mentality of it. But yeah, dude, I fucking cross country.
You're like the David Goggins of comedy, man. Go off. Go off, King.
Not the David Goggins.
We're going to put this podcast in black and white like Jocko's.
Okay.
You just go for it.
I'm the Jocko Goggins, dude. I'm like the worst, the both, because they both have flaws.
The giggling Goggins.
If you get rid of both of their positive traits and only their negative ones, I might have a little bit of that. Like a psycho who smokes too much weed. Like, I'm a psycho, but I'm high, so I'm going to drive across the country in the middle of the fucking night like an idiot. But fuck it, man, we made it. And that was the thing. It was like, dude, during the pandemic when we made those drives, like we would get into town and we would have a show and it would be like, yeah, I'm tired, but I got a fucking show. Yeah. I get to perform tonight. Yeah. Like I haven't performed in a week or something, or, I know if I go back home, I can't do this. So it was like, everything we had taken for granted, like even paying to do mics, like that was that was like, oh, getting up 6 times in a night was taken for granted a lot of times in LA. So when that all got taken away, it was like, I enjoyed the stage time more. I tried to make more of it. Yeah. I was obviously driving to fucking Oklahoma and Dallas and shit to do that. So it was like, it's just, that's the only place. And and now everywhere you can do comedy again, but it's like, the people who had that same mentality like you, like everyone else who's down here, it's like, well, we all came here because we're all like-minded on comedy.
Yeah.
So we want it to be where you can do comedy and where that's the focus and that's encouraged and promoted and shit and trying to do it the right way, no paying to do it and shit.
Yeah.
So like once I realized that was what people down here thought, it's like, oh, this is the spot then.
Yeah.
This is the party I want to be at. So
yeah, dude, that's a really good way to put it, because that's how I feel without even thinking it really did attract the people who really just want to do comedy and are great at it, because it's competitive out here in the sense of there's just really good comedy. Yeah. Not even like everybody's trying to backstab and do this shit. It's like the level of comedy and the hunger is there to where if you're just here and you want to like survive in it, you're going to get better. You have to, level up your jokes. You have to just get better. Like, 'cause I feel like hacky stuff doesn't really survive here. And I mean, I'm sure there's some exceptions, but like...
There's the hacks that don't survive. There's the people who, even if they're funny, if you're an asshole, people don't want to book you.
Yeah.
So like that gets weeded out a lot quicker. Like when you're in a smaller scene, it's like, yeah, that guy's an asshole, but he runs that show, so everyone has to fuck with him a little bit. And it's like here, it's like, you know, not that there isn't any of that, but it's a lot less because it's like, well, no, just people don't want to fuck around with that.
Yeah.
People know how shit's supposed to work. People came from different areas, so they're crowdsourcing their best ideas. They're like, well, in Tennessee, we did it like this. Well, Minnesota, we did it like this. And fucking Idaho, we did it like this. And it's like, you know, everyone bringing together their kind of like best practices and like, this is how we promote shows. And it's like, this is how we run shows. And this is the first place I ever saw a 2-minute light. And I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense, you know? Not now everyone's not running the light because... You didn't give me a fucking 1-minute light, which is really a 40-second light because you fucked up. And now it's like, you know, it's just little things like that, you know, make this like an ideal comedy scene, you know? And then on top of that, there's so many people here who want to go see comedy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that level of demand, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely a hunger. I know that topic's been beat to death with people being like, there's no professional sports team. So now there's just so many music fans and everything.
You say that's beaten to death. I heard that 3 weeks ago for the first time. Yeah, Andrew Schultz was talking about that, and I was like, fuck, that's right. And then I heard it again. I guess Red Band was on Rogan talking about the same kind of thing.
Maybe that's what.
And now you're saying it, and you're like, oh, it's beaten to a dead horse. I'm like, I guess. That's where I'm like, I'm way behind on certain shit, dude. I'm way behind.
No, I just try to sound like a hipster, like I already knew it.
I gotcha. Okay. What's the opposite of a hipster?
I don't know.
A fucking idiot? That's how I feel sometimes. Because, like, hipsters, you know, they're all up on this shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't even fucking know how anything works.
That's the best way to be, though.
It's not.
You don't think so?
Because now I have no traction on the internet because I don't even know. Like, at least you know somewhat of how the algorithm works. I just know there is one and it hates me. That's all I know.
You know what I think it was? The reason why I've like the sports team analogy is I think I heard it when that podcast first came out with Andrew Schultz. And then I go and do spots all around town. And it's the only thing being talked about by all the other comics. And they're all repeating it like they came up with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like... See,
you're making the mistake of talking to other comics. Why would you do that? Just sit in a corner, dude. That's what I do. I go sit in a corner like I'm on timeout. And then I'm like, hey, am I next? No, I'll go back to my corner. I just fucking, dude. I don't know. I'm an introvert who just is like, I'm just here to do my spot.
Yeah.
Like, I like talking to some people. Like, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to fucking Maverick.
When I force myself on you when you're in the corner by yourself.
No, but the people who know me, if they see me in the corner, they'll be like, I'll go talk to Markus. Because I'll have a one-on-one and I'll talk to people, but it's like, I'm not going to sit in a fucking group of 15 people. Nobody really knows each other, but we all signed up for the same mic. So now we're all going to give our bullshit comedy advice.
And then, and then everybody's trying to get their punchline in on the topic going around. And it's
fucking,
just like,
dude, it's like, dude, none of you are funny. So, and it's not even that none of you are funny. It's like, what? And they're all trying to big dick each other. Well, I just did this show and I run this show. And they're all like giving each other all the mics. And it's like, okay, well, if you're new to a scene, you kind of got to do that because you got to figure out where shit is. If you sit in a corner and you just got into town, maybe not the move.
Yeah.
But if you know the host, if you know the fucking, 3-4 comics who are there and you know where your next mic is going to be that you're about to fucking do your set and go to, what do I gotta go hang out with all these fucking open micers for, dude? Just to fucking, catch whatever little disease they have, whether it's an actual virus or a mind virus. They're all fucking idiots. And it's like, not all of them, but I'm sorry. But it's just,
go off, God.
Nah, I just don't like talking to a bunch of people like when I go to the back of Creek in the Cave, the worst scenario is when it's just one giant circle. You know what I mean? You ever walk back there and it's one big circle and you're like,
and you gotta get in there and put your right foot in, put your right foot out.
I like when you go back there and there's like 18 different circles. And it's like,
slow pressure.
There's like 3 people over there. Those people are cool. I fuck with them more, but they're smoking weed, so I'll go over there. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's just I'm not a big hangout guy. I quit drinking too, so that was another thing where it's like, I'm not going to go hang out. Why don't you hang out more? I'm like, well, you guys are drunk, and I want to be drunk, so I'm not gonna. So now I'm just standing here like an asshole with my seltzer water.
Welcome to my life, dog.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna fucking. What you want to come to this party? It's like you knew when you invited me, I wasn't going to that fucking party, dude. Don't fucking do that to me. Don't make me seem like an asshole.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and I'm similar with if a conversation is super surface level and it's just shit I don't care about, I check out so hard, and I'm the person just standing there staring at the ground, and then I'm just like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get how many people. Well, there's a lot of autistic comics who just cannot pick that up. Yeah. It's like, dude, do you not see me like looking around for an exit right now? Yeah. And it's just like, I need somebody who fucking knows me to fucking come over and get out of here. But and it's like, I don't want to. Because then it's like, hey man, I gotta go, and then you seem like an asshole. But it's like sometimes you do have to go. Yeah. So it's like, how do you break off this conversation that you really didn't give a fuck about without pissing someone off? Because there's no benefit to pissing someone off, even if there's some whatever the fuck. Yeah. Right. In this town, people can blow up so quick. It's like, oh, that crazy person is now famous. Yeah. So it's like, but just in general, you know, even with non-con, like you don't want to piss people off. There's no benefit to doing that. So it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick to you, but I don't even know how we started talking, and now you're talking to me about some shit I don't care about, and I actually have to be somewhere, so I gotta go. Yeah. And it's like, that's an awkward cutoff point. Yeah. So it's like, it's a lot easier to do that with a friend where you're like, hey man, I actually got to get going. Yeah. So it's like, I'll just, you know, I'll never meet new people. Fine. I don't care. Whatever. There's enough people on my phone. I don't have any storage left anyway. So you fucking send me some pictures or whatever. I'm not even going to get them. But
have you always been that way?
Yeah. When I was sober, yeah. When I was drunk, then, you know, I could fucking talk to a group of people drunk, dude. Yeah. You can get all drunk and just walk up, what's going on? So, yeah, you know. When I was drinking, I was either the worst person you drank with or the best person you drank with, and there was no in between. So, like, no, I could be the life of the party sometimes, but other times you're like the death of the party. Yeah. He was like, someone's got to carry him home. I'm like, Yeah. So, yeah, not the ideal way to socialize, but that was the only way I figured out how to, like, do it. But now it's just easier to you can have limits. Yeah. You don't have to be the social, whatever, butterfly or whatever. Yeah. You know, you have that perception. I think we put that in people's heads where it's like being antisocial is bad because it's got the word anti in it or whatever. And social, it's like such a positive thing. It's like social, you know. Yeah. You're a social person. That's a good thing. It's like, yeah, but every annoying person is a social person. True. How else would you know they're annoying? Yeah. They're not fucking constantly annoying the shit out of you.
To remind you that they're annoying.
Yeah. So.
So what's an ideal day look like for you? For like how you like to spend your time?
I mean, I'm not a morning person. Yeah. So that's why I like working nights in general, because it's like I'm gonna be up anyway. Yeah. So if I don't have shows or something, might as well make some money. I don't know, man. If I can get up at 10:30, that's, you know, early enough for me. Yeah. 10 o'clock is early for me. Yeah. Like, that's good. But like, you know, get up. Drink some coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. Yeah. Fucking love coffee. Smoke a little, maybe watch some. I like watching little news clips in the morning just to kind of see, you know, did we blow up today? Yeah. No? Okay. All right. What's going on with the economy, little thing. I don't really, it's not like I have a bunch of money in the market and I need to know, but it's just like.
It's good to know.
Yeah. And I mean, I studied finance, so I understand how shit is going to play out. If this happens today, okay, it's like, yeah, I like to know, kind of be able to project my own future of, you know, what the country's going to look like. So watch a little news, watch some other random shit. And
how do you drink your coffee?
Black with a couple ice cubes, just so I can start drinking immediately.
It's very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, I like iced coffee too. Yeah. And I make my own iced coffee, which is I just take whatever's left over, put it in a mason jar, put it in the fridge, and drink it the next day. Yeah. I don't even know if that counts, but it's
when you do ice cold. So you don't put like creamer or anything like that. It's always
no. I don't mind it. It's just like it's more shit to buy. It's not good for you. Once I got used to black coffee, I'm like, fuck it, we'll just do that. But yeah, I mean, if like you ever get a Chick-fil-A iced coffee.
Dude, that's too rich for my blood. They're so.
Oh, I know. It's crazy, dude. Well, I got one the other day, and I literally mixed in my own cold coffee just to cut it a little bit because it was so frothy and just like milky and sugary. And I was like, so I basically just poured it into a bigger cup and then poured like, you know, some iced coffee into it. And I was like, this is right. Yeah. This tastes better. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm not a big cream guy. Actually, my girlfriend's sister she was visiting a couple of weeks ago and had this like Chobani cream that was really low on sugar. Mm-hmm. but it still tasted like very sweet and shit. So like, I mean, we drank that and that was nice.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. Are you a big breakfast guy?
I like breakfast. This is weird because I just said I'm not a morning person. So it's like...
Well, breakfast is whenever you
get.
You
Hell yeah,
it's
dude.
more of a ceremony.
That's true. It is a ceremony. I mean, last night, dude, I ate some food and then I was like, I'm still hungry. We had a leftover Bucky's breakfast burrito or some shit. So I was like... Because she got that and I got like a breakfast taco. This is whatever. We were just getting into Texas in the morning. So I was like, all right, we'll get some food. And she had like a couple bites and was like, oh, it's too greasy. I don't want it. And I'm like, I'm going to eat this fucking 12 hours later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love breakfast, dude. I'm a big hash browns and whatever meats you can have. I'm not a huge bacon guy. I like bacon, but it's like, I'd rather get some sausage or some fucking ham or some shit like that. I don't know. When it gets too crispy, it's just like, I feel like I'm eating dust, you know?
Yeah.
But it's got to be crispy, otherwise it's not cooked. So it's this weird. Bacon's tough, man. You got to get it right.
Yeah. My wife, she likes to eat it like crispy to where it's like almost there's chalk in it. And I'm like, this is...
Yeah, that's too crispy for me, but I get that you need some crisp.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's like, you know, it's just got to hit it perfect. But yeah, I love breakfast. I like the sweet breakfast shit too. Like I drink my coffee black, but I'll make pancakes and smother them with Nutella. And then you put syrup on top of that. And then if you can, I don't have this, but like this is ideal, right? Nutella, syrup, you do some like strawberry preserves, or if you have pie filling, fuck it, dude, get some strawberry pie filling, and then whipped cream, and then powdered sugar, and then whatever else sugar you have, you just keep putting it on there until you have diabetes. But like that's a good breakfast. I like that.
It's crazy that with pancakes, people aren't pretending they're just having cake for breakfast. Like
I've been thinking about that more because I've been making a lot of them, and I'm like, this is cake in a pan.
Yeah,
you gotta. Sometimes our language is so weird that it's like. You gotta reverse engineer your words to figure out what the fuck something is.
Literally,
it's like, dude, it's a cake, dude. But yeah, it is delicious. It's fucking great, man.
What is your like favorite go-to meal?
Breakfast? Oh, meal?
Yeah.
Well, I just got an air fryer, so that's kind of changed the game a little bit.
What have you been frying?
Last night I made some burgers.
On the air fryer?
In the air fryer, yeah. Frozen burgers, you throw them in, 5-10 minutes, flip it. Come another 5-10 minutes and just went to HEB, got some buns. I mean, my go-to meal is probably breakfast because it's easy. You know, some scrambled eggs, meat, hash browns. I love potatoes. Anything potato is great.
Is that a German thing?
I think it's a European thing because Irish people love potatoes too.
Yeah.
But German people love potatoes. I'm anywhere that's like not France or Italy, I feel like they're heavy on potatoes. But even in France, I feel like they fuck with potatoes. But yeah, that's when you start getting into pasta. Pasta's easy. Anything easy. Like I'm not a gourmet chef, but I'll cook food. I'll make food, but it's like short order cook shit. It's like, make some sausages. There's some like I like making some German egg noodles. They're called Spätzle. You make that with some gravy and whatever meat you got. That's pretty good. But yeah, you can get it at HEB. It's kind of expensive for noodles, but
HEB has German noodles there.
Yeah, international food section, man. They got all kinds of shit in there. They got all other countries that I don't know. So I'm like, I don't fucking, that's for people from that country.
Yeah.
That's where I get real, like, liberal. The international foods aisle. I'm like, oh, that's for Asian people. That's not, because I'm going to fuck whatever that is up. I'm like, I know where the white people Asian food is.
Yeah.
They got some racist, like, kung fu chicken or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? They got, like, the fucking racist ass names on the like, dude, there was one, what the fuck was it called, man? It was like a frozen food brand, but it just sounded like the most racist Asian name ever, dude. And I don't fucking...
It's like Hero rice.
basically, essentially that, yeah. And it's like, well, I know how to make that. But it's like you go to the international food section, and it's like, you got to be from this country to know how to make this. Because like you read the directions, they're in a different language. So like, I just buy my people's food there, and then... white people's food at the rest of the HEB.
You just don't appropriate any of the other sections. You're like, we'll leave that to them.
Dude,
that's their culture.
You go to certain HEBs, and you're Hispanic, so you probably know a little better about Hispanic food, right?
Yeah.
I don't know fucking shit. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get that tortilla, and I'm going to do shit that would make a Mexican fucking roll over in their grave with that tortilla, all right? I'm going to take a hamburger, I'm going to put it in there with a piece of cheese, I'm going to fold it, and that's a quesadilla.
Yeah, I know someone who, because I ate a lot of Puerto Rican food growing up, obviously, and I know someone who tried to copy my dad's recipe. It's called yellow rice and beans. And they put food coloring in it to get the yellow. They thought that's how you put the yellow.
How do you do it? Turmeric?
No. So there's, what is it? Sazon is the seasoning packet.
Okay.
They sell it at H-E-B.
Sazon sounds like a French fucking designer brand.
Sazon. Yeah. Nah, sazon. You put it on there. And then also from the sofrito. And like some people put tomato paste in to get the, like, add flavor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's the sazon packets that really give it the yellow.
So what did this white person do?
Put food coloring.
Food coloring?
Yeah, they put the beans and the white rice and some seasoning, and then they thought, I'll add some.
That's so fucking... I wouldn't even think of that. I'd be like, there's just got to be some yellow shit somewhere. I wouldn't buy food coloring, dude. That's like...
Turmeric is a good guess. That's a good guess.
Well, I know that accident, dude, because I fucking... My girlfriend likes turmeric on shit, and I'm like, I don't even know what flavor you get from turmeric. I just know it makes it like orange... And it makes your whole fucking kitchen orange. Yeah. Every dish you fucking use turns orange.
Your fingers when you're cooking with it too. You're just...
I know that, and I know it's good for you. So I'm like, okay, all right, I've already got a big ass thing of turmeric. But I made rice the other day, or she's been using the turmeric when she cooks, and I noticed everything's like a yellow orangey.
Yeah.
So I tried to make yellow rice the other day, and I just used that, and I was like, fucking, it's not white anymore. So I'm like,
get some sazon, man.
Okay. What is it? Salty?
Yeah, it's I forgot the actual thing, achiote. It's like it's salty, but it has a bunch of different spices blended into it. You can use adobo also. That helps also with the
Okay. I didn't know tahini tasted the way tahini tastes. I thought it was going to be like fucking spicy, and it's like sweet. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
I think that's Mexican, the tahini. They love the spicy candy and everything.
Everything's spicy as shit, and everything's all fucking covered in this and that. And I'm just like, dude, I just need some noodles with some like gravy with a little pepper on it. That's all I fucking need, man.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, Mexican food's good. I was talking to someone about this. They were asking me about the German food in Austin, and I was like, but then I was like, but, I don't know what bad tacos are. Like, I eat a taco, and I'm like, it's a taco. I make tacos, and I'm like, I'm sure someone would get offended, but it's like, you don't have to eat it. So,
yeah.
But on the other hand, like, when I eat what Mexican people call good tacos, I'm like, I don't know. It tastes fine.
Yeah. Out here.
I just don't know.
Yeah. It's just... Everything, they put their spin on everything out here, I feel.
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of extra.
Everything has brisket or barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah. Did you know that I'm sure you knew the Germans were the ones who taught the Texans how to barbecue?
I heard that somewhere. Maybe I heard that on Rogan, actually. But, yeah. I don't know how to smoke meat.
Really?
No, dude. I don't know how to smoke meat. I don't know how to fix my car, dude. Like, all my historical skill sets, I don't fucking know how to do any of that.
You just took the beard, you're like, this is good enough.
I just let it happen because I started losing my hair up top, so I'm just like...
You just moved it down? You just like let it kind of...
I didn't do it. God did that, all right? God decided when I was 18 that this is going to start going away, this is going to start coming in, and it just kept going. Yeah. And I was... I don't know if I did mushrooms or something, but something clicked and God told me... I don't know... God didn't tell me shit, but mushrooms were like, hey man, let it keep going. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So
is that really what happened? You took mushrooms and it was like, let's grow this beard out.
I had been growing it out, and it was at like a funky stage where like my friends online, like my college friends were like, dude, shave and fuck. And I took mushrooms and talked to a fucking wall, and the wall, like the painting on the wall was like, if I can leave it. And I was like, okay.
It looks good.
Yeah, it was like an old man painted on the wall, and he was like, live your life. That's what he told me.
Did he have a beard too?
No, he had a fucking top hat and a cane or whatever. I don't remember. But like, yeah, he didn't have a beard. He was just an old guy painted on a fucking wall at an Airbnb that I was at.
Was a Monopoly guy?
Kind of. See, I mean, I don't remember exactly, but it was vaguely, if the Monopoly man wasn't rich, if he wasn't born into money, if like the Monopoly man's second cousin or something like that, who just lives on that one side of the board you can afford,
yeah, dude,
like the green, not the green,
Baltic.
yeah, the purple, but not quite the purple because that's the hood of Monopoly, right? Wasn't it like the light blues?
Yeah,
or is that on the other side of the jail? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, so...
Do you have a Monopoly joke? I feel like you have a Monopoly joke.
Yeah, I have a Monopoly. I did it at the show last night because I was just like, I bet it'll fit. But yeah, it's basically millennials. It's like joining a game of Monopoly halfway through.
Yeah.
You know, you show up and you're like, oh, you guys already bought all the property. Yeah. Nice. I'll just pay rent the rest of the game. So, yeah. I wrote that in LA, actually.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I wrote that one in LA and it started working out there. And that's a weird joke because, like, if the people in the audience own property, they don't get it.
Yeah.
They're just like, what do you mean we bought it? There's a house for sale down the street. I'm like, fucking, you don't. That's not the point. The point is they're not building any new houses. It's like, dude, the economy is not set up for people to buy property right now. So and it won't be ever again. So it's like it's just sad. But yeah, that's my Monopoly joke.
That's hilarious. Did you have a special with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, it's not. But I mean, it's on Amazon Prime. But it was like a studio in Detroit. They had a deal with Amazon to make like 5 local comics from Detroit, a little 30-minute special. Yeah. So I was one of them. Never got paid for it.
Oh, really? With Amazon?
Yeah.
Fucking Bezos, send the check, dog.
Well, it's not. That's why I'm like, it's the production company who made it. They never paid me. And then the thing was supposed to be like, you know, whatever percentage they get, which is based on a percentage of what Amazon paid. So it's like, because you got to pay to watch it, right? So it's like, it's based on streams, but it's just, I never got any money. So it's just like, whatever. But yeah, it's up there. If you want to look it up, Getting Off Comedy Series, season 1. So yeah, episode 4.
Did they do, so is it just strictly stand-up, or did they kind of follow you guys and like talk about Detroit at all?
I think they put like some little interview shit at the beginning, you know, like, you know, how long I don't remember the questions, but little profile stuff at the beginning, and then it's just the stand-up set, and that's kind of it, you know. It's like most specials where they have maybe a little intro type thing. It's not like elaborate, like some Andrew Dice Clay skit or whatever, where he's getting a blowjob or something, but... his fucking first special, there's like a whole scene of him in an alley smoking a cigarette with some chick. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was a little much, but yeah, not quite that level. But
every time I hear or like say the word Detroit, I want to go Detroit right after.
Yeah,
Detroit versus everybody. It's a banger.
Yeah, and they still play that in Detroit. You'll be just driving down the fucking road, and you'll hear that on the radio, and you're like, oh hell yeah, this is a good place to hear it.
How big is Eminem in your life, being from Detroit?
I have his poster on my wall.
Still?
What do you mean still?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, as a kid growing up in Detroit, did you have it?
As a kid, I didn't have the poster.
Were you not allowed?
Yeah. I wasn't allowed. No, my parents weren't going to buy that poster. Fuck no, dude.
Yeah. Which poster of Eminem do you have in your bedroom?
I got it.
I assume it's in the bedroom.
No, it's in the fucking living room, dude. Are you kidding me? It's next to my big... skyline picture of Detroit. I got my fucking
you want it to be one of the first things people come in, pay respect, homage.
Sure, but
like
it's
Hispanics
also,
with Jesus Christ hanging in the roof.
I mean, I got a lot of shit on the walls, and my mom gave me more shit that she didn't want on her walls anymore. So now I have even more shit I'm gonna put on my walls. So. But yeah, it's the Not Afraid poster, because I had someone give it to me, so I was like, I didn't buy it, because I'm cheap, so I don't like buying shit. But if you give me shit and I like that shit, I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, so like I have that poster up on the wall, and then I got that Detroit fucking what do you call it, skyline picture. Yeah, it's from IKEA. It's not a fancy. It's just but it's the Detroit skyline. I've had it forever. So, but yeah, how big is he in my life? I mean. Spotify. Fucking...
I thought you were about to pull up your wallpaper on your phone.
No.
It's Not Afraid picture.
No, I mean, fuck, you can't get into the Spotify. You know how at the end of the year they give you all the shit?
Yeah. I saw yours. I remember commenting on it being 2%, like...
Yeah, but I don't even know how to find that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe I took screenshots.
So he was
I want to tell you the fucking ridiculous stats of like... You're in the top 1% of worldwide listeners. I'm like, oh, shit.
That's a pretty impressive stat, dude.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's not going to be in March. It's going to be about the end of the year, right? That's when they fucking start giving you all the data they hacked from you. Isn't that crazy how they just like, oh, hey, we stole all this information, but we're going to put it in a PowerPoint to make you feel better about yourself that we know all this shit about you.
I'm like, hey, fuckface, I need y'all knowing I listened to Mariah Carey. Last year.
Well, that's the crazy thing. It tells you all the guilty pleasure shit too, and you're like, I don't even need to know this. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, I already know certain songs that are going to be in my shit next year. Okay, I can't find it. Whatever. I was in the top 1% of Eminem listeners last year, so.
It's great. I grew up listening to Eminem. I loved it. I snuck it. I had the burn CD. I would hide it in a stack. Remember when like you had to burn CDs? You had like empty ones. I'd like hide it in there, and you could only tell what it was because you would look and it was written already.
You remember the music video for the song "Without Me"?
Oh yeah.
For Trailer Park Around Outside. So in that music video, there's a little kid trying to buy the CD.
You were that little kid?
Yeah, we were in California visiting.
Shut the fuck
We were
up.
in California. My mom took us to San Francisco and whatever, some national parks. What is it? Yosemite? Not Yosemite. Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Yosemite. But we were in San Francisco and we went to a Borders or whatever. And me and my brother tried to get her to buy us the Eminem show because they had a CD there. And we're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And she literally, we got to the line, we're going through the line, and then she looks at it and she starts getting mad because she's got it's got the explicit, and she didn't know that we had it, and she was like buying whatever she was buying. We tried to slip it in, so she's cussing us out in German and stuff. So it was a little different than the video, a little different than the music video, but it's essentially the same.
I thought for a second you meant you were the kid in that music video.
Oh fuck no, dude!
I was like,
dude, if I was that famous,
lead with that.
If I was that famous, dude, I would not have had to drive to Michigan to get a new car, bro. I would drive it back, man. I'd have that shit.
That would have been your bio
like,
instead of comedian.
Yeah, dude. I'd fucking. Well, that kid's probably fucking. I don't know what that kid's up to now. He might be dead.
He could be.
That would be sad.
Died from drowning in pussy.
Yeah.
Well.
Hey man, you got to go out somewhere.
Yeah,
you got to die. You got to die somewhere. I never thought drowning.
Die.
Actually, that would suck, dude. Drowning.
Yeah, you're just like wait. Yeah.
There's got to be a better way to die sexually.
Unless you knew you were terminal and you're like okay with going out like that. Because drowning is terrifying for anybody. You know, it sounds cool to say drowned in pussy, but it's like that's a terrifying way.
You're drowning. You're still drowning.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
You're drowning in pussy or water or fucking beer. Who cares? It's like you can't drink your way out of pussy.
Yeah.
It's not a drinkable thing.
And the EMTs are going to be trying to resuscitate you after. And there's like, what? How did he drown?
He's stuck. He's fucking stuck to the pussy. There's a lady, I don't know, he asked for it. He paid me. Wait, no, he didn't pay me. I don't know how he even got here.
They're trying to like get your credit card out and be like, you know. Oh, man. Yeah, when Eminem would get in beefs as a kid, I would feel like vicariously in that beef.
I don't like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
Well, that was the most recent. I think that was his latest, maybe his greatest beef, actually, if you think about it. I mean, he had some good, but like, fucking, because, I mean, Machine Gun Kelly came out with that video, and that was a good song. Like, it was a poppin' song that Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. What is it called?
Was it Rap Devil?
Yes, it was. And so that was a good song. It was a good beat, good video, the whole thing. But then he came out with Kill Shot, and it was just so much more like, this isn't about making a good song. This is about talking shit.
Yeah.
And it was like just a good enough beat and like for him to just spit a bunch of fucking shit on there. And it was great, dude. I listen to Kill Shot all the time, dude.
Yeah.
That one's great.
Same. Dude. It really was like watching a decent open micer and then watching someone go on stage after.
Yeah.
And then just destroy them with their own shit. Like kind of like everything he did in Kill Shot. Because I feel like a lot of times like rappers, when they get too big, it's like the underdog has a shot at you because you are rich and you're all of this stuff.
You're not paying attention.
Yeah, but he just like methodically took everything he said and just like...
He's petty. He said it as he's like, I'll see who can out-petty who. Yeah. And I'm super petty.
And then he goes, woo!
Yeah,
petty.
Woo.
Tom Petty.
Is that why he does it?
Yeah.
See, that's the other thing. I like listening back to, shit I've already heard, movies I've already seen, because it's like, there's always little shit you pick up. And especially in rap, because a lot of times you might get caught up in the beat or it's going too fast. So it's like you're going to miss little things, especially with him. So like, yeah, dude, I didn't even fucking realize it was a Tom Petty reference.
Because let's see what out Petty who. Woo! Because your reaction got the crowd yelling woo. So let's see who could out Petty who. No, I even still hear shit with Eminem. Like I just listened to with Eminem and it was, I got a couple of mansions. Still, I don't have any manners. Oh. And it's like... is
that Joyner Lucas?
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
But that line right there, like I have a couple of mansions. Still, I don't have any manners. Because like manners are like a smaller version of a mansion. But it's like manners.
Yeah.
It's
there's a lot
I still hear shit that it just went over my head for years. And I'm just like doing something. I'm just like, holy shit.
Well, the song he did with Logic, Homicide.
Yeah.
I bet that roof would go over your head.
Yeah.
He's talking about little shit like that where he's like, I don't remember all of them. But yeah, dude, he's fucking great. He's got a weird rep in Detroit because, Detroit's such a hating ass city. There's going to be people who are, fuck him.
Yeah.
Just because everyone likes him. So there's people who don't like him. But, yeah, I'm a fan,
What do you think about NF? Detroit kid?
He's from Detroit?
I think so.
No, he's from the suburbs. He's from like NF. Let's look it up. Because he is not from fucking Detroit. I've heard him. He's like clean rap, right?
No, he gets pretty angry.
I typed in NF. It's like, oh, you meant NFL.com, right? And I'm like, no. Dude, what a bad branding on his part.
I wonder
how do you Google a guy whose name is NF?
Where is he from? Oh, Gladwin, Michigan.
Gladwin. Yeah. So I don't know where the fuck Gladwin is, but it sure as shit ain't Detroit.
Get out of here. Nathan John Fierstein. He might be Germany.
Feuerstein. Yeah.
Feuerstein.
Gladwin, Michigan. Where the fuck is this? Bro. That's so far north, dude. I don't even go that far north.
Get out of here, NF.
Does he claim Detroit in his music?
He might just claim...
it says Christian hip-hop.
Yeah.
It says Christian hip-hop.
No, he's not Christian hip-hop. That might be his Wikipedia. But he does angry music. He's good workout music, and he gets all angry, and he's got a lot of hate and anger.
Huh. I mean, I've heard of NF, but yeah, I'm not... pack my car, take a new route, clean up my yard, get the noose out, hang up my heart, let it air out. I've been searching.
He's always angry. Every song is angry.
Yeah,
He's
trying to make Christian hip hop. I think taste too, dude. Now, not only can I not say the N word, I can't say any of the words, dude. How am I supposed to rap for God? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's like a Christian porn star. You're like, I don't even know how the fuck this is supposed to work. But
do you know that one song where it's like Andy Mineo, and he's like, "Y'all can't stop me."
No,
have you heard that one, dude?
Andy Mineo?
Yeah, it's like Mineo, but he's a Christian rapper. And the first time I heard the song, I was like, holy shit, like this is dope. It's a great workout song.
Oh, and then you hear it again.
And then,
it's all about God. Okay.
Yeah, you start hearing it's this song.
See that beat?
Yeah, that's probably...
you never heard that beat in church. Died for my sins. He died for my sins.
Yeah, dude.
Died for my sins, then he rose again. Yeah, he rose again. In Gladwin, Michigan. Or some shit, yeah.
Because he starts rapping about God.
Oh.
And then it's always, it always gets weird whenever.
Yeah. I think Kanye is the only one who got away with that.
Who?
Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, you really blocked him out. Yeah, you blocked him out. I've never heard anyone
ever since he came at Kim Kardashian, bro. That was my girl growing up.
Oh, hey, man. Growing up, dude. Fuck. Dude, she was on a commercial yesterday for underwear. I was watching TV and she's fucking just a commercial, her half naked selling underwear. And I'm like,
I'd buy underwear she's wearing.
Well, that's the thing. I was looking at it. I'm like, dude, what a country where you can start out making a fucking porno, a bad porno, right? Like you're talking about production quality earlier.
Yeah.
Not even a good, well-produced porno. And they had well-produced pornos back then. I know. I've seen them. They had well-produced pornos in the 70s. This bitch made a fucking POV home video with the rapper no one's heard of anymore.
Yeah.
And now... And then she got her own show and all this shit, and now she's back to commercials. It's just because every time you see commercial actors, you're like, oh, that's a person who lives in Hollywood who's trying to make it. That's how I look at commercials nowadays. I look at it as like, oh, that's a person living probably near where I used to live, just trying so hard to get any auditions they can. They're like, we have a commercial for Bear Paint. It's going to pay you $2, but it's great exposure nationwide.
Some of them make great money, though.
Like, right.
I know some, but... Yeah, no, that is crazy.
Well, I mean, Kim Kardashian probably got a lot for that commercial.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably her company, though, too. But
yeah, they got their hand in everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking... it's a little much, man. But yeah, no, I mean, she's hot. I never argue that she's not hot, but I watched that commercial, and it might have been the edibles, but in my head, I was like, that's a demon right now.
Yeah.
I was looking at her, I'm like... Because she's just so hot and just like buy these underwear from my company. And I'm like, they're so soft. And I'm like, oh, this is evil.
This is the devil's work
this
right
is
here.
evil, dude. I need some Christian rap right now, dude. This is fucking
You gotta
evil
put your
right
Jesus
now, bro.
walks on. Just boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
Imagine if every time Kim Kardashian popped up, you're like, no, I need Kanye.
Where's Kanye?
Yeah. I know he's a bad person too,
Set
but
me
like, God,
free.
he's better than this lady, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah, Kanye is the only one who was able to rap for Jesus. You know, it's like you rap for anyone except for Jesus. I fucked that line up, but yeah, you know, that's one of his mumble lines. He wrote it and then he listened to the beat he made and was like, "Oh, that doesn't fit, but I can't remake the beat. I gotta fucking squeeze this in somehow." But
no, I love Kanye.
yeah, I mean,
some awkward views, you know.
Yeah,
right
now he was on my Spotify last year. He was top 5. It was like Eminem, him, fucking Marilyn Manson. Like it was, you know, you can go. Sometimes you get sad.
Yeah,
you gotta listen to the right music.
Yeah,
and like Willie Nelson, like it's all over the map.
Yeah.
Like my top 5 makes no sense. You know what I mean? And then it's like some DJ because I fucking, you know, I like EDM by myself. I don't want to be at an EDM concert. I want to be on my balcony just listening. You're like, fucking, dude, just I'm gonna hang out with anyone.
Twisting imaginary
no line for the bathroom, dude.
Yeah.
You piss as much as you want, dude. It's
$20
great.
water bottles.
Yeah, I got a fucking sink. What are you talking about, dude?
Unlimited.
Yeah, man. It's like I don't know. Maybe that's the alcoholic in me because I used to like getting drunk by myself. That was my favorite. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
What would you do?
What wouldn't I do? Dude, I just watch TV, just listen to music, just fucking anything you would do with a group of people, but by myself drunk. So, you know, that's how, you know, you got to stop drinking.
I did that quite a few times. So I lived in Puerto Rico and during college and smoking so much weed. Weed hits different. Blunts hit different when you're sitting under coconut trees and shit.
I bet, yeah.
Oh, it was magical. And then it would be like the bioluminescent bay where you're like seeing the waves glow and shit. Smoking blunts at night. Amazing. But then, I started getting to like where I would just get high and I'd be like, and then I'd go on YouTube and it was like the greatest time ever. Yeah. And then somehow vodka and like Coca-Cola brought into the mix and that was just my drink. And I was just like, I remember one night I was like, dude, I almost drank half a handle and I was just on YouTube.
Vodka Cokes, dude?
Yeah. They would call them.
Vodka Cokes, that's the best. Dude, what would they call them? Sorry.
They call them, because I would go in the college experience in Puerto Rico was much different. You were going to the clubs 4 or 5 nights a week.
Oh, is it 18 there to drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah, it was 18, but it was like there was no like college parties and dorms and it was like you go and you dance. So it was like you were always drinking in the club, and that's what I'd order. I get a skinny bitch is what they call them, which would be a Diet Coke and vodka.
Oh, a Diet Coke. Okay. A skinny bitch.
And it was just like a way to get drunk without getting all the sugar, because like that's what would make me hungover. Is I'd go to like there was this one place, dude, Long Island iced teas. They would do 2 for $5, and you would get 2 of these blue Long Island iced teas, and they tasted amazing, but they were just death. Yeah, you would just be blacked out. Like I would literally just like apparate out of the room, and I'd be in bed later and be like, "The fuck happened?"
Yeah,
and then there'd be like, there's like a half-eaten pizza open over there, and there's just like you'd feel like the Hulk because you'd be like, my shirt is ripped a little bit. There's stains on my fucking ketchup on the floor now. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what happened, but
you shouldn't be able to do that in college, but for whatever reason culturally we let that happen in college. But the problem is, not everyone can stop. When you get out of college, right? I just kept doing it, and it's like, oh, everyone around me is like, dude, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
we're done with that. I'm like, what do you mean we're done with that? The vodka's right here. What are you talking about? We're done with it. I'm not done with it. I literally can't stop. What are you talking about? So, but yeah, dude, the vodka Cokes, man. I used to, when I was living in Germany, I lived there in my early 20s doing some internships and shit. Cool. So like, before I got a weed connection out there, I'd be like, well, I got to do something. So I would just get hammered, bro. And they have great beer over there, obviously, but sometimes you just need to get there a little quicker. So I could go buy a cheap bottle of vodka and drink the whole thing.
Oh,
not a handle.
Oh, okay. Just a fifth?
Yeah, just a fifth. You know, no biggie. Drink a whole fifth to yourself with some Coke, and then you're done with that, and you're still not blacked out, and you're like, okay, well, it's too late to buy any liquor, but I bet there's a club open because it's Europe, and there's definitely a club open. So you're like, well, let's get on a train. So now you're on a train, hammered in a city you're not from. It's just like, oh, the subway doesn't run all night on a Tuesday. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. You're just like getting stuck in weird places and taking cabs home, and it's a nightmare, bro. Being an alcoholic sucks.
That's what is wild about when you get so far into like a culture of drinking and like doing things is I remember even before I left for Puerto Rico, I was going to a community college and I was having trouble sleeping. And this nurse asked me, she was like, well, how often are you drinking? Like, you know, you fill out the survey thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, usually like 5-6 nights. And she was like, and how many drinks are you having on those nights? And I'm like, 7 to 8. You know, usually. And she's like, beer? And I'm like, sometimes, but sometimes cocktail. I was like, if it's beer, I'll have like sometimes 14, maybe 15. And she was like, okay, that's way too much, you know? And then it's like, you don't even realize that. That's weird.
See, again, you made the mistake of being honest. Because I got sent to alcohol counseling in college once, and the chicks, it was like another college student, like practicing counseling. And she's like running me through these questions and, you know, fill in the box. And I'm like, I mean, honestly, your boxes don't even have the amounts that I need to put on here, which is, I'm not telling her this, I'm thinking this. So then I just fill it out semi-honestly based on the numbers you're providing. And I'm like, these aren't even, bitch, you don't even know how inaccurate this is. And even that, she was like, oh, you're drinking way too much. I'm like, I'm aware. You think I don't know this? Nobody knows better than the person who's drinking that they're drinking too much.
Dang.
But it's just, you're not going to, I mean, we're not going to not drink if I'm in college, which I guess you can. There's a way to do that, but I didn't figure that out till a couple of years ago. But man.
How long you been sober?
2.5 years, August 2020.
That's awesome.
So pandemic, you know, was drinking a lot during the pandemic because what else are you going to do? And it just got, because then I would get drunk and watch old sports games. But only games where my team won championships and shit. So you can only do that so long before you're like, there's a reason your team doesn't win a ring a night. You know what I mean? They spread sports out for a reason. It's not for marketing. It's for your liver. And fans don't really get that. But so I would just fucking get hammered and watch old shit. And it was really depressing. It was really sad. But, you know. And I was living at my mom's house. So I'd be in the basement. She'd be on the second floor. And then it'd be 4 a.m. And I'd be fucking jamming out to some shit, and I'd turn around, and she's just there. And I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'd look at the case of beer, and I'm like, oh my God, I drink 20 beers. Fuck, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, that's when it got real sad. That's when it wasn't fun anymore. So, I kind of had to stop, but, you know.
What was the
rock bottom? There was no real right. It was just like, it just kept every morning you'd be hungover as shit. And, you know, it's one thing when you're in college and you're like, well, there's another party coming. And it's a different thing when there's a global pandemic and you're not even allowed to go anywhere and you can't do stand-up, which is your passion. And, you know, so it was like, I woke up one day and listened to Rob Lowe on Rogan talk about his sobriety and whatever he was saying, it just clicked with me. Because apparently, like, he was a crazy party animal because he was like famous at 16 or whatever, right? So he was just like running around LA. I
remember that episode. It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was, I liked it.
Dude, Rob Lowe saved your life.
Rob Lowe saved my life, dude. And it's like, God, that's not funny, but maybe it is. I don't know, dude. It's just like, I never would have even thought that by clicking that episode, it's like, oh, you're done drinking. By just clicking that episode. It's just how it worked out. And then that night I had a show because they were doing like outdoor comedy. So it was like a bar that had an outdoor patio. And I get to the show, you know, and you get drink tickets. It was a paid show, but you also got drink tickets. So it was like $50 and a couple tickets. And I remember I ordered no duels because I was like, because that's how I quit drinking. I would eat edibles and drink non-alcoholic beer. And that would fuck me up enough to like, you know, make me forget about life. But without consuming alcohol. And after a couple of weeks of that, I just didn't have that like chemical need for it. So that's how I did that. But like, so at that show, I ordered the O'Douls and I'm sitting there and another comic I know comes up who's, you know, he's been doing it forever. And he knows that I used to get drunk at his mic, at his show all the time because I lived down the street from it. So I'd like go there, go first and then get hammered because I could never be funny drunk. I was never a good comic drunk.
Really?
So that was it. Yeah, no, I fucking was a mess. So like, but I would go to his show, go first and then get drunk and walk home. And so he was on that show that night and he comes up, he's like, hey, what's up? You want to do some shots? You got your drink tickets? And I was like, actually, I just quit drinking today. You know, anyone who hears that, it's like,
today.
Let's do a shot. And I'm like, no. So that first day, it already was like challenging me to be like, this is going to be every day now. Like every day you're going to have the temptation to drink. It's going to be super easy. It's going to be free. Someone else. So it was like that first night. If I hadn't have gotten through that first night, I don't know. Damn. I don't know how it would have gone, man. Because I stayed sober that night, did my show, I don't remember. It was probably fine. I don't remember the set specifically, but yeah, man, it's just weird. It's like that moving to Austin thing. It's like had we not done it when we did it, who knows? You know, had I not quit drinking right then, had I said yes to a shot that night, like there's no way to know how it would have all turned out. But you know, in retrospect, it's like, yeah, I'm glad it turned out the way it did, because otherwise, you know, I might be fiending right now. Yeah. You know, like, oh, I got to drive all the way back to Pflugerville. I can't drink. Because that's how I would plan my shit. Because I never drank and drove. But I would be like, okay, I'm going to do this show, and then on the way home, I'm going to get a 24 pack, and as soon as I get home, I'm just going to drink until I black out. And then my day's over. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was sad as fuck, dude.
I recently was on a show at Sunset Strip, and there was a comedian in the green room, and it was day one of being sober.
Oh, yeah.
Off of
rough.
Quite a long time, and you could just see it.
Yeah.
He kept going to the bathroom. I always think, and you can chime in about this, whenever I see comedians taking shits at comedy clubs on a regular, I'm always like, what kind of psychopath are you? Like, you don't, like, I go to the bathroom in the mornings, and I'm usually good, you know, and then the next morning I'll go again. But like, I try to avoid taking shits in public anytime I can, you know? But this comedian, I noticed he went to the bathroom like 3 times. Like, it just so happened I'd be going to the bathroom to go pee.
Was he shitting?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I think his body was just going through the... something where he was just going through it. Because he was sweating back there.
Yeah.
And like,
some comics get the bubble guts, you know,
that's true.
They get nervous.
Yeah.
So, you know, people get the bubble guts, which I get. Sometimes you have to, and there's no real other out. You're just like, bro, your set's too long to not.
Yeah.
I hate that, because I hate shitting in public.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I've worked at Vulcan almost 2 years. I think I've shit there less than 10 times.
Really?
Yeah. And a couple of them I was on a show. I wasn't even working. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't get people who plan their shits like that, where it's like, dude, you didn't fucking what? You didn't shit before you showered and left the house? It's like, well, I didn't shower today. It's like, oh my God, you didn't even shower, bro. Fuck, man. But yeah, dude, like the pre-show shit is, if it's your ritual, it's, you know, I get it. Everyone's got their little thing they do before they go up, but like.
What is your thing?
I pee a lot because I don't want to have to pee before I go. So I definitely take a couple pisses.
Same.
If I'm a little low on energy, I'll try to get some caffeine somehow, like a Red Bull. I'll drink like half a Red Bull maybe. That's like good for me. And then, you know, smoke a little, not too much. Don't eat edibles. I can't perform well on edibles because it's like, it's different. It's not, I don't have the same energy. I'm too in my head. I don't have the speed that I want. Like I want to be quick. I want to be pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
And, I can do that high, fine. But, you know, edibles is just, it's a different level. So it's just like, you're not as sharp, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, you know, write my set list, get a little caffeine, maybe do some shadow boxing or fucking fake baseball swings, or just some shit to get me moving, little jump arods. And
I'm definitely the weirdo stretching in the green room, doing like leg lifts and shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's weird. Yeah. I'll stretch if I'm sore, but I like just doing the shakes and the
getting loose,
you know, shadow punches and just kind of getting that like get yourself going type mode. You know what I mean?
I started doing like deep breathing, like right before, like.
That's good. I should do more of that. But I don't.
It settles me into the moment. Like I always like to arrive at least 15 minutes before I'm actually going to go on stage.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than running into a room and they're like, you're on now. And they're like, we just gave them the light. And then you just got to like, okay, well, let me look at the crowd. All right, you don't acclimate at all to the room. That's
the last 3 roast battles I've done.
Oh, really?
Because I've had to work those nights and then clock out, go do the battle. So like, I've had times where I've like sprinted from Vulcan to Creek and I can get there in 30 seconds. I know that. And so I'm just out of breath. And I get there and the roast right before ours is going and I'm like, fuck, so I got to go in the bag. The person I'm roasting has just been chilling there the whole time.
He's just like
reading their jokes about me. And I don't even have mine fucking memorized because I've been working and I'm just like, fuck, dude. And it's like, yeah, that sucks. Because at least if I'm sprinting over there and doing my material, I know my material. But like roast jokes, it's like I just wrote these yesterday, bro. I don't fucking remember. But so yeah, I hate doing that, but I do it.
Do you rehearse your jokes at all? Like Do you ever
roast jokes?
No,
or
not general. Like talk through them ever?
I got to be really high to start doing that, but I do. Sometimes that's how I write. You know, I just be at home by myself, 3 a.m, high as shit, and just like end up talking to my. And I was like, oh, this is a bit, and start writing it down. And, be like, wait, how did I say that? Because that made me laugh really hard. So okay, I gotta add that part into it. And but other than that, I don't really rehearse them. I just I try to do them a lot and then listen back to them. Because once you've listened back to them a couple times, you kind of figure out the timing and the rhythm, and this part's the funny part. It's not even the part I thought it was. So, just listening back to them. Yeah, but I don't rehearse necessarily.
Listening back is I hate doing it, but it's so good for you.
I love doing it when I crush.
Yeah,
and that's the unhealthy time. You don't really need to listen to that set, dude. Yeah. It's like, oh, you did all your A material and it all worked. What are you listening to? Yeah, it's like you're watching game tape when you put up 40. It's you did everything right. Yeah. You need to learn. What are you learning from that? It's like you learn more from losses type shit. But it's dude, when you eat shit, you don't want to go. You're not excited to go listen to your jokes bomb. But it's like, or open mics when you're doing new stuff and there's not really a crowd. It's like, how eager are you to go listen to that? But I also like it because it tells me how long my set was. So that's important. It's important for me to know how much time am I doing. You know, I think I did 67 minutes last week or whatever. So
that's awesome.
I try to hit 60 a week if I can.
That's a metric I had never even contemplated.
Yeah, stage time, minutes. How many minutes are you doing? Because I track how many sets I do. Yeah. That's one metric. But then minutes is just a different metric of because if you do 15 sets, but they're all 3 minutes, what is that, 45 minutes? Yeah. No, is it? Yeah. So it's okay, and 45 minutes is, I think if you're hitting a half hour, that's a good minimum. Mm-hmm. But an hour is just that extra half hour is huge. Yeah. So if you can get that, it's huge. But if you're doing less than a half hour in a week, I feel like you're just not getting enough. You know what I mean? I feel like a half hour is just a good minimum of you got to be out there. But like I said, 60 to me is perfect because it's an hour. You want to be able to do an hour at some point, right? That's if a headliner, if they do an hour, it's okay, well, can you pull off an hour in a week at least? Yeah. Even if it's the same jokes, it's just be on stage for an hour. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just at that point, 60, it's 10 minutes a day basically. So it's if you're getting up 10 minutes a day, that's consistency. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I use that metric. But
that's impressive. I'm going to adopt that.
Yeah. And that's why the recording thing is just, it tells you how long. Yeah. Even if you don't listen to it at all, you get something out of recording it. Yeah. I know comics who are I don't record my sets. I'm you don't even, not only do you have no way to go back and see how shit worked, how it actually sounded, not how you thought it sounded on stage. You don't even know how long you were up there. Yeah. They're well, I know how long I was up there. It's you do? It was 10 minutes. Okay. Because mine was exactly 11 minutes. I know that. Yeah. Or 9, whatever. It's I know exactly. It's I'm a little psycho on that, but if you have, because there's no one making you do comedy. You don't have a boss. You have no one checking up on you. So it's if you don't have any metrics, you're not going to get good. Yeah. How could you? You have nothing to fucking even measure yourself by. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's well, I crushed the last set. Okay, but what are you going to do with that? Yeah. You know what I mean? You have no way to be okay, well, these are the jokes. Did you write a set list? No, I don't do that. So you don't write a set list. You don't record your set. You don't keep track of anything. You fucking don't have a calendar. You don't what happens when you start getting booked? Yeah. What are you going to do then? You don't even know what set crushed. Yeah. It's I know exactly, this is a 10-minute set that I know can crush. This is a 15-minute. This is a 5. This is the new stuff I'm working on. Yeah. It's constantly. And that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people who do comedy very passively and don't even their brain isn't constantly thinking about this shit. Yeah. And it's oh, just quit. Yeah. Just quit. You're just taking up space. You're not fucking, if you're not that committed to it, why are you doing it? But
Giggling Goggins back again, dude.
Well, yeah. But it's also the people who, they really want to do comedy and this and that, or they say they want to do it. It's yeah, but when I give you my little bits about oh, I keep track of this, I keep track of that, I do this, I do that, I hit these mics. When you can just instantly tell it's falling on deaf ears, you're just I don't even know why It's like back to that open micer conversation, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm down to give people little bits and pieces of what I've learned but like, I hate when I tell someone who I think is listening good advice, and then I fucking find out, oh, you're not doing any of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, why do we talk? Why do we fucking talk about that? Why the fuck? But why did you ask me about that? People will ask you and then not do it. And it's just like, you could have just not asked and not done it. And you've been in the same boat. But
there's a lot in comedy where people are asking questions to get their opportunity for you to ask them, and then they can just tell you shit going on with them.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
don't
just like,
care.
Yeah,
I don't care what's going on. Put it on your Instagram, and if I follow you, I'll see it. That's it. Like, I always think what I think is funny is the people who make that huge post of like upcoming shows. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, every one of those is in Austin.
Yeah,
every one. Like, you took time to write Austin, Texas next to every show, where it's like.
I mean, I'm guilty of that during South by Southwest, but
okay, during South by Southwest, different. But I'm like, hey, I'm doing this showcase. I'm like, oh, the same showcases you do every week. You just wanted to post a thing that's like, I'm booked.
Yeah,
it's like, and I get it. You want to, it's brand management.
Yeah,
you don't want to look like the comedian who's not booked ever.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny when people, because like a big comedian will make a post like that and it's tour dates. It's like, I'm doing this theater on this date. Here's a ticket link. And then it's people like, I'm doing this open mic. I'm doing that open mic. I'm hosting this open mic.
That's always interesting when I see open mics tagged in those. And I'm just like,
yeah. It's like, don't put that on there. It's like, well, I had to fill it. But the
template I have.
Yeah, I didn't have enough bookings to fill it. Oh, then you shouldn't have posted it, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough bookings why are you so concerned about that when you don't have the bookings to,
Yeah.
It's like people who post workout pictures and they're still fat.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's rude to say, but like, you're as fat as you were in the other picture. You know what I mean? Like, you look the same. You know what I mean? You're not even sweating.
Yeah.
At least post you sweating, or at least pour a water bottle and make it look like you're sweating, all right? Dude, what I've heard is people post fake flyers for shows that don't exist just so they look like they're booked.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's incredible.
You had the laugh track thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about this poster thing until maybe a month ago. Someone told me that. And
Did we talk about that on the podcast, the laugh track?
Did we not? Was that not on the podcast?
I think that was before.
Oh, fuck,
okay, so
dude,
what he's referencing
remember,
is a comedian asking me to put laugh tracks.
This was before. Yeah.
In the...
Hey, can you edit this clip? But here's the laugh track that I like.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this is a black audience laugh track and it's a white audience in the video. So maybe not, but I don't know.
That would be funny. Is they just found any laugh track they could and it's just a black crowd. And then it's just looking at white people like this.
We want a good laugh track.
And it's going, doggy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, yeah, dude, that's so, because like you can tell, like a real laugh, there's unique laughs. You can hear them. There's the one guy who's like, ah, like there's usually some uniqueness to different crowds. And there's always a wacko with a weird laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like when the laugh track just sounds like it's like you're watching fucking some sitcom.
Yeah. It's like I Love Lucy tracks.
Yeah.
In the background.
But I'm saying this, having also said earlier that I've never noticed that someone had a laugh track, but I don't know. When I'm watching a clip, I'm not even waiting for the laughs. I'm looking at like the joke. I'm trying to be like, is that even a good joke? Because, the only time I look for or notice if there's laughs is when there's no laughs. And I'm like, why'd you post this, dude?
Yeah.
Even if it's a good joke, dude, it's like, you didn't get any laughs, though. Like, why would you post a clip where you're not getting laughs? It's psychopathic to post a clip with a laugh track, but it's almost as psycho to post a clip with no laughs at all. Like, you didn't even watch it. You like the joke a lot. I get it.
But, so it's phantom laughs.
Yeah, it's phantom. Well, and again, that's the people who don't record their set.
Yeah.
Because, man, I crushed up there. I'm like, and they say it all the time. And I'm like, dude, I've watched you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because that's my thing is like, if I think I crushed, that's why I want to go listen to it. Because like, I want that validation. I want the fucking recording to be like, yeah, dude, listen to that. Whoa, that was a good laugh. Fuck, man, that was a good. Oh, fuck, that crowd work worked really good right there. Like, I want to know that.
Yeah.
But then the worst is when you think you crushed, you go back and you listen, you're like, I don't know. And then there's other times where it's like real lukewarm. You think, and then you get out and you listen to it. You're like, I was getting laughs the whole time. Yeah. It just wasn't a huge crowd. So it was light laughter. It was like, oh, fuck, man. You gotta be positive to yourself without being delusional.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
Because there's a lot of delusional people who have a lot of self-positivity, and it's not good. And then you have people who have none of it, and it's like, dude, you're doing great. What are you talking about? Like, you fucking crushed. And it's like, you know, you got to find that balance. Because I do that sometimes where I'm just like, dude, you did fine. Stop being mopey about it because you didn't fucking tear down a 30-person room. It's like, but I could have.
Yeah, that's always like, but I like, I forgot who said this quote. It was some athlete. It was like, don't let the highs get you too high and the lows get you too low. Yeah. And you look at everything as like a season. Like, that's how I look at it. Because it's like, yeah, this set might not have been that good, but we're working on this in a season, working on an actual set and special for this long-term thing. And I will catch myself if I'm like, I'm doing some A material, I'll open with it, and then this B material I need to put in there, and it's like this brand new thing, I'm going to stuff it, I'm going to sneak it in there. Yeah. And then I'll go into A material to close. Yeah. And
I call that the sandwich method.
Yeah.
Because it's like you want to try new jokes on a show. Yeah. If you're only doing them at mics, you're not going to get the best feedback. But if you've got a big ass crowd, they don't know if it's new. Yeah. So like I had a comic tell me sandwiches, like new joke, old joke, old joke, new joke, old joke, right? Because then even if the new joke doesn't hit, you got old jokes that are going to hit right after. Oh, shit, did we die?
Yeah, it just went out for a second. You can keep talking.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, to anyone who saw that on the podcast, we're back, dude. We didn't go anywhere. But yeah, dude, it's just like, because I don't get comics. It's like new joke, old joke, old joke, new joke, old joke, right? Because then even if the new joke doesn't hit, you got old jokes that are going to hit right after. Oh, shit, did we die?
Yeah, it just went out for a second. You can keep talking.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, to anyone who saw that on the podcast, we're back, dude. We didn't go anywhere. But yeah, dude, it's just like, because I don't get comics who, you know, and good comics will do this too. And it not great comics. I don't know. Some maybe more novice comics who are funny, and are getting opportunities, they'll open with new jokes. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know if that joke's going to work. Why would you start? Because like your opening joke is how the crowd gets to know you. Right? Yeah. That's like their first impression. Their first impression is what you look like, which is why a lot of times a look like joke up top works, because they're already thinking it, but they don't know how to make it into a coherent sentence that's funny. And it's like, so if you can get like a good look like joke up top, they're like, that is what you look like. And then, and you are funny. Okay. And then, everything after that, you can kind of roll from there. Yeah. But if you open with like a fucking brand new fucking abortion joke, it's like, you don't even know what this crowd's into, dude. Like you're really... And I'm down for taking risks, but like you got to also manage your own set. Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, dude, the booker can respect you as much as they want, but if you bombed, you bombed. Yeah. And they're probably not going to book you again. So
it is interesting because that is something I've learned, and is looking at your set as like almost like a story. Mm-hmm. And it's like, think about like a movie. Like they introduce the character and they instantly, like they always say little lines. Like I don't know if you've seen Succession.
I have not seen Succession.
Okay, but in that first episode of that show, the pilot, they introduced all the characters naturally, but all the characters say something to define what kind of person they are. Yeah. In that first bit. Like Succession does an amazing job in that first episode of showing you the whole world of what the show is. Yeah. From head to toe. And like I look at sets like that where like the I look like joke is a great joke to always open with. Mm-hmm. And then something local or something people can relate to, and then you can talk about yourself or you can open with yourself. But I noticed I had this bit I've been working on about where it basically is this girl like says my aura, like I'm getting off a lot of toxic male energy. And there's a big pause and I'm like, first of all, speak when spoken to. Nice, and then it always gets a huge pop when I don't open with it. But I've taken that risk. I'd be like, I'm just going to open with this. Yeah. It'll get a laugh. It'll get groans. And some people in the crowd will turn on me. Yeah. And they're just like, here's this bro that is going to come out here and think this is okay to joke about. Yeah. You know? But if I layer it and I do a bunch of self-humility and like, I know I look like a piece of shit and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And I'm showing that I'm silly. And then I do that joke to that same person. Then they're like, oh, you're so fucking dumb. Yeah. They're laughing.
Well, yeah, they want to, you got to have them, because, I think the mistake a lot of new comics make is they're like, well, my friends think this is funny, so this is funny.
Your friends have years and years of knowing you and that.
So how do you get a group of people who don't know you at all, who probably didn't even come to the show for you to get to know you in 30 seconds to the level of your friends to where then they can laugh at your fucked up jokes. And that's the challenge. And like people, and this is again, people will be like, well, Dave Chappelle or Louis C.K. Because Louis C.K. is like, well, he sometimes opens with his closer just to make it harder for himself.
Yeah.
But he has his fans at the show. Dave Chappelle has his fans at the show.
Yeah.
They're famous people that like they already have the stamp of funny.
Dave Chappelle could sit down, light a cigarette, and smoke it for 3 minutes, and the crowd would
for
be
3
like,
hours. He'll smoke a carton of cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, if you don't have that public stamp, which is, you know, basically like the blue check mark in people's head of your funny, well, I'm a risk taker, man. I don't fucking play by the rules. It's like, all right, well, you know, the crowd doesn't care.
Yeah.
And if you suck, if the crowd's not laughing, man, that booker has to really, really like you to keep booking you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a job, and it's supposed to get you booked, and you're supposed to get booked more and more and more.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be that stubborn where you're like, well, I'm going to do it this way because that's what Louis does, and I don't, you know, fuck these people if they don't like it. It's like, all right, man, but you're not going to get very far with that. And you can, you know, people think, oh, well, I don't want to compromise my morals. It's like, you're not compromising your morals. You're structuring your jokes that you wrote, right, that are original and funny, and they're about you, they're true. You know, like you can take all those jokes and structure them in a way that isn't hacky, isn't fucking, you know, whatever, doesn't compromise anything, and still works.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's why, again, listening back to it, it's like, bro, if you switch these two words, it's funnier than it already is. It might be a funny joke, but if you fucking switch something, it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Right? And you'll never know if you don't try it, but I don't know, man. Like, set list structure is huge. And there's other times where, like, if you go out of order, now all of a sudden that joke doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Because I revealed this, or, you know, and you see, like, newer comics will do things where they'll, at the beginning of the set, you had a girlfriend and now you're single.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote that joke when I had a girlfriend. Oh,
you need to make that cohesive.
you need to make that fucking correction, dude. It's like, but you know, again, people don't think about it like that. It takes some time to get to that level too, because it's like when you're just starting, you're just trying to even write a setup punch structure.
Yeah.
You don't even know how that works yet.
Yeah.
But there's people who have been doing it 5, 6, 7 years who still don't even have that down, and they're you know, bitching about, oh, not getting booked.
Yeah.
Your jokes suck.
Yeah.
And you open with the abortion joke.
Yeah.
Your one funny joke, for whatever reason, you got a good, really dirty, nasty joke, so now you're like, oh, I got to open with that, and it's like, dude, it's more nuanced than that. You got to think about it like, what is the audience looking at right now?
Yeah,
you know, people get so, that's the problem when you're only doing mics for comics, dude. Like, you're writing for comics, you're performing for comics. You don't understand what real people actually like, what they want to see, what they're willing to laugh at. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole nother thing, man.
It's almost like farming, and it's like you're used to raising sheep, and also you switch to goats, and you're like, oh, the same thing. But it's it's completely different with, you know, a comic is going to laugh at and what an audience. And it's like, you said it was like doing like stripping for strippers. Like I've always used the analogy of like doing like magic for magicians.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what's this behind your ear? And they're just like,
yeah.
Because then you start feeling silly for doing some jokes in front of comics. Because I'm doing the trick that you know to do, and I feel like I'm dancing up here.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are you dancing right now?
Well, there's that, and I got this in LA a lot where I was like, I felt like the comics watching you, if you had a really good bit, like a great joke or something well structured, they're just sitting there like, fuck, why didn't I think of that?
Dude, yeah. And
so not only are you not getting laughs, you're running the risk of these people stealing your joke too. Yeah. And it's like, what the dude? And then in LA, it's so toxic that you're worried about people at open mic stealing your jokes. So now you're like, well, I'm not even gonna do my good jokes here. I'm gonna save this for a show that I'm never gonna get booked on. And it's like, you can't live like that.
Yeah.
That's like being a virgin who's like, I know that's pussy, but that's not the one I want. You know, it's like, well, get some, just so you know what a laugh is like, bro. Like, just get a laugh just to feel it. You know what I mean? But it's a toxic environment, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Are you from California?
Yeah.
Like born and raised?
Yeah, I was born in Palmdale, California. I don't know if you know. It's like an hour and a half.
Is that from Afro Man song?
Yeah,
West
baby.
Palmdale or East Palmdale?
East Palmdale.
Okay.
just like bums we used to stay in the slums of LA, by the way. Yeah, if anybody knows Palmdale, that's why I say Palmdale. So I grew up in this place called the Antelope Valley, which is, you take the 14 north, it's like an hour and a half north of LA.
Okay.
Yeah, small desert town, a lot of crime.
Yeah.
We used to battle with Compton for being like the highest crime.
Nice.
And it was dope, dude.
It's like the Flint of LA. Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking nice, dude.
But yeah, I grew up there. So when everybody thinks California, I'm like, dude, I'm not from the California that you know. You know, it's like, yeah, a lot of crime, and Afro Man is the only thing that people know us for.
Is he from Palmdale?
He moved there. And so he moved from the slums of LA to Palmdale back when it was like, you know, yeah, East Palmdale.
Fuck,
Start
dude.
slang and yell.
Nice,
you know?
dude. Okay, so you grew up there your entire life. What was the adjustment in Texas?
So I grew up there till I was 18. Then I moved to Ventura, which is like beach. I went to college there. And then I went to San Luis Obispo, which is more up north, for a year. And then I went to Puerto Rico for college.
Yeah.
And then I moved to California, back to California. And we were in Ventura. She was my girlfriend, then my fiance there. And then wife in Texas.
Nice.
And then...
So you got to move to Texas to do it right. Man.
Yeah.
You get married in California, everyone thinks you're gay. And down here, you're like, oh, you're getting married.
Yeah.
Handshakes, here's a gun or something. You know?
It was because the lockdowns in California were crazy. It was nuts. We were having where we were, like, it was a small beach town. We got insanely lucky with our apartment. Like, we did not belong there. It was we were totally just like, this is nuts. But there was so much like crazy liberal stuff happening. Like in front of our place, there was COVID marches, but marches to like keep the lockdowns.
Really?
There was like
to keep the lockdowns.
Yeah. There was this like
That's so
that
funny.
kind of stuff. There was a lot of BLM stuff happening.
Yeah.
Like a lot of protests for that. And there was just so much. It was nuts. And it was, you know, in the grocery stores, people wearing gloves and masks and like. I mean, and I can't be one of these people who, when the pandemic first happened, I was scared because you don't know what's happening. And it's like, but like, so I would wear a mask at the grocery store, and that was like how it was. Like you had to live like that. But there was a lot of fear in California amongst people. Like you could feel the energy of it. And then when we moved to Texas, it was just so different.
Right.
It was like a culture shock of like, oh, like I relaxed. I was like, this is so nice.
It was like vacation, dude.
Yeah.
It was like getting away from your job, except your job was to be scared.
Yeah.
And like that's when we first came to Dallas, it was that same feeling of just like, wait, you guys are we allowed to do this?
Yeah.
Are we? It was weird, man. And it was like, we're adults. Why are we having this feeling like, are her parents gone? That's what it felt like. But you said there were pro-lockdown marches. The concept to me of people protesting for the government, not against the government. Like a protest, the whole it just doesn't even make sense. You're protesting for the government. You're like, listen to the government. It's like, even if you want to take the position of like, no, we need to like mitigate this risk or whatever. It's like, why are you protesting for the government? They have the guns. They made the law. The law is what you want already. Yeah. You're supposed to be protesting against something. Yeah. What are you're protesting against protesters. Yeah. Like it's like that again.
The Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was a lot of that, man. And the fear thing that you were saying, because I remember so like when I was in LA, beginning of 2020, January, February, right? You started to hear rumbles about this because it was in China. It was already starting to hit the news a little bit, January, February. And, you know, everyone, you know, that's fucking, it's never gonna come here. But the month of March 2020, I had that whole month booked in Michigan and Chicago and Ohio and Indiana. So I drove back end of February to go do these gigs, and the whole drive from LA back to Detroit, right? I wasn't going nuts. I was driving like 6 hours to Phoenix, do a mic, crash in my car. 6 hours to Albuquerque, do a mic, crash, you know? So I was like kind of piecemealing it back to Chicago for, because I had a Chicago show March 2nd. March 2nd, 2020, Laugh Factory, Chicago. And then the whole drive back, I'm just listening to the radio because there's nothing, you know, you're just driving through Kansas. It's like, it's either country music or Rush Limbaugh, whatever. Dude. Yeah. So you're listening to this and it just gets more and more. They're talking about it more and more. And you're like, they ramped it up on purpose, dude. They knew what they were doing, man. Like 9/11 was one level of fear because it came out of nowhere, but this was more like they built it up, and then they were like Middlemarch, bam, they just fucking locked it down. And I remember those last couple shows, like Middlemarch that I was doing in Michigan, like these little one-nighters or whatever, where people are out at the show and people are scared already, but they're at the show because they're like, I bought these tickets, and they're like, I don't know if I can shake your hand after, like weird little things. And this is pre-lockdown by about 4 or 5 days. So like they were the scared people. There were the people who were like, fuck it. Like, what do you mean? It's just a virus type thing.
Yeah.
But it was that last 5 days where shit started to get weird. And looking back on it now, I realize how that little buildup made a huge difference for when they actually locked it down. Because people were already scared before they locked it down. So once it was locked down, it amplified the fear people had. It added fear to people who didn't have it yet. Yeah. And then they knew, the anti-people, the crazy anti-people were going to be anti from the beginning. Like, it was, But I think they were able to get 95% of the people just scared enough at the beginning. Yeah. To start it. And once it started, man, it's hard to undo anything, dude. Once shit's out of the bag, dude, it's fucking out. And you're not putting that toothpaste back in the tube, man. No. So like... Yeah, dude. So yeah, that first month, everyone was doing it because it was like, you kind of had to do it. I was wearing a mask when they said, don't wear a mask. They were like, don't wear, you don't need masks. We need masks for healthcare workers, this and that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to get sick. Yeah. So I was like, I need food. So I'll wear a mask. I have a mask. I'll wear a mask. Yeah. But, then, it just started getting weird and the rules didn't make sense. It's like, oh, you can go to a restaurant, you got to wear it when you're standing and then you sit, you take it off. And it's like.
That was all so stupid.
Well, it took some time, but eventually the laws started to, they all became like that. Yeah. Because it started to come out what it actually was. And, so like once the laws started getting weirder and weirder, people started to gravitate away from the fear because weird shit isn't scary. It's weird. Scary shit's scary. Weird shit's weird. And it's like, it's hard to have someone be scared when they're like, it doesn't make sense though. Like part of fear is like you have to be able to draw this connection between A and why B is going to fuck you up. You know what I mean? And when that's lost, it's just confusion can be scary too. But when it's like I'm not really confused, it just doesn't make sense. It's just weird to me. And it's like once it got to that point, I think a lot of people started to like drop off. And once that started to happen, once you got below 50% of people like buying into it, even the governments had to start being like, we might have to roll this back. Otherwise, we're going to lose our jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Like, everyone already lost their jobs. Fuck them though. But if I lose my job, that's how selfish people are, dude. Yeah. And people want to say like, well, you're selfish for not getting vaccinated or not wearing a mask or this and the other. It's like, man, if you don't think everyone was acting in their best self-interest, dude. Yeah. Everyone can virtue signal as much as they want about like, well, I got vaccinated for you. It's like, You're everything you do is for you. Yeah. You're not Mother Teresa, dude. Yeah. That's why the toilet paper ran out.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's what I think weirded me out more is I felt how thin like the veil was of what was keeping everybody from going crazy and not just like storming Costco.
Well, bro, I mean, I'm a huge Costco guy. And dude, they were like, you can only buy one or we don't have any toilet paper. I'm like, you guys are the toilet paper factory. Yeah. What are you fucking talking about? You don't have any toilet paper, bro. I remember my mom came home with toilet paper one day and it was like this brick of toilet paper. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, dude, this is fucked up. This is not how America's supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be excited about toilet paper.
Dude, I bought a bidet on Amazon that when it all started and I saw the toilet paper issue, I was like, I'm getting out this game.
Yeah, dude. I think there's a reasonable conspiracy theory that the whole pandemic happened because of the bidet companies. They knew. Everyone's going to buy the toilet paper. And once the toilet paper's gone, our profit's going through the roof. Zoom and the fucking bidet companies teamed up. All right? Because they're like, we're going to make money off this. Damn. We're going to find a way. It wasn't even the pharmaceutical companies, dude. It was the bidet companies, bro. Dude. But
I don't know how Skype wasn't ready. Skype has been around forever.
Isn't that funny?
And then they just fell off. Skype is ancient. It's the new MySpace.
There's got to be a funny joke in there about like you ever be like waiting on hold, like you're sitting on hold for hours, like waiting to talk to someone like about something important, and then as soon as they pick up, you're like taking a shit and and the thing's on mute, and you're like fuck. I feel like that was Skype during the pandemic. Yeah, just like. shit, we're already on everyone's computer, but no one knows how to use this because we had to be on people's computer and on purpose. People didn't want to use this because we were, you know what I mean? They were just like Skype's that thing you can't close out of, right?
Yeah.
Like once it's on your computer, it's like,
doo-doo.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking annoying. And it's not a bad product.
Yeah.
Skype's not bad. There's no reason I don't think Zoom's better. I only use Zoom like once or twice.
I think Zoom just it was more efficient for these bigger business meetings and everything. And Skype was like, they just didn't have the infrastructure or the bandwidth probably to host that many people.
Yeah, but that's another thing where it's like, why was Zoom ready? This company no one heard of, dude.
Exhibit A,
How are they ready, dude?
We got to see who these holding companies are that hold Zoom and all these bidet companies.
Yeah, dude. I mean, every distillery started making hand sanitizer. I have hand sanitizer in my car from back then. That's from some liquor company in Michigan.
Yeah,
and you put it on your hands, and you're like, this ain't even good sanitizer, dude. It's just like they took vodka and they just put some thickening agent, like they put an almond milk in it or whatever, and now it's just like this thick vodka juice you're pouring on your hands. It's fucking disgusting. And I'm like, I mean, I guess my hand's cleaner. I don't know.
There had to be so many high school kids just drinking it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Well, yeah. Or just raiding their mom's liquor cabinet because their mom's already passed out drunk because she lost her job.
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, mom's drunk. I'm going to get drunk too.
Yeah.
How many families were ruined because everyone just started drinking?
Yeah.
That's what I started doing. My weed dealer in Michigan kept telling me, dude, I think they're going to stop selling liquor. I think they're going to cut it off soon. And it's like, I didn't need that in my ear, but now I had that in my ear. I'd go to Costco, get the fucking big bottle of vodka and the 18 packs of beer or whatever the fuck. They just, they don't sell 6 packs. They sell fucking 24, 36, 40. Whatever. And it's just like, no. Here's the worst part. In Michigan, you have to pay a 10-cent deposit on any bottle or can. And you still had to do that during the pandemic. But the governor said you're not allowed to take the cans back to get your deposit back because it's a COVID health thing. So now I have so many fucking empty cans just all over my mom's garage because in my head I'm like, as soon as this is over, I'm about to get $500 or whatever, right? Because I'm still paying the 10 cents.
Yeah.
Every time I'm buying 24 beers, it's another $2.40 you're paying.
Damn.
And it's like, I want that money back. And then when they finally opened the fucking the
recycling,
you can only do 250 cans a day, so $25 a day. So I'm sitting there like, now I got to count out 250, or I just got to bring a bunch and then now I'm done. And believe it or not, everyone else was there too. Everyone else, I wasn't the only one who had this problem. So now I got to wait in line to recycle fucking beer cans. I can't even do them all. So now this is now my job for a week.
Yeah.
Is recycling this shit. Or, well, you can throw it away. It's like, I bet you want me to throw it away so you can keep my fucking money, you fucking assholes, dude.
Damn.
So it's just little shit like that where it was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How is this? So I can buy the beer, but I can't. What? Well, the COVID only lives on empty beer cans. What the fuck are you talking about? Just stop charging the 10 cents.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not going to recycle it. You're damn fucking right I'm not going to recycle it, dude. This is stupid. What's more important, recycling or people being alive? Well, it's all important. Just listen. Just listen up. Just do what I tell you. It's okay. All right. I get it. Man. I get it. It's about that. It's about doing what I tell you. Okay.
Are you wearing Jurassic Park socks?
Yeah.
Dude, it would be a crime if we didn't at least talk about Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I didn't want to just jump right into it, but I think it's funny that we made everyone wait.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. They're like, what are they going to talk about it, dude? What are they going to? They're just recording your sets and figuring out how many minutes you did and COVID conspiracies and shit like that. It's like, hey, I just said whatever you talk about.
You're an avid fan of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I like Jurassic Park. I like Star Wars too. I don't want to act like Harry Potter and.
You like Harry Potter too?
Yeah, I like Harry Potter too.
I'm rereading the books and watching the movies right now.
Oh, okay. I don't have the books, so.
Kindle. I have Kindle Unlimited, which is like $9.99 a month, and all the books are on there.
Nice.
Books are great if you haven't read them.
I have read the Harry Potter books. Okay. I've read the first Jurassic Park. I haven't read the second, and then Star Wars has no books. So
yeah,
I mean they have books, but not.
Yeah, they're going to come after
material.
You. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff out of canon with Star Wars, which they're starting to bring into it. Which like a lot of these different stories. Yeah, which I'm for. I like expanding the universe, and
I really liked Andor. I don't know if you watched that.
I haven't seen it, but people keep telling me it's amazing.
It's so good, dude.
I'm just a fuckboy who's just like, I need something to tether me to.
There's no lightsabers.
Yeah.
Did you like Rogue One?
Loved it.
Okay, you would love Andor.
I thought Rogue One it might be, this is very...
I already agree with you. I know what you're saying, and I already agree.
I think it's the best written movie.
Of all the movies?
Listen, Empire Strikes Back, I know it's everybody's favorite movie, but I thought Rogue One, for not having a lot of the characters, like a lot of like the anchor of Star Wars in it, was such a great movie. Darth Vader scene in that movie is one of the dopest things ever. But I loved Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One. Yeah, so you'll like Andor.
Okay.
But yeah, Rogue One, dude, like, I remember when they started rebooting the whole shit and Force Awakens came out. I went and saw Force Awakens with my family and shit, and I liked it, but I didn't like it. Like, the older people loved it, because it was like, oh yeah, this is nostalgia for you. This is just, for me, it's just another movie, but it's like, I kind of like Force Awakens. The other two sucked.
Yeah.
Even Force Awakens isn't that good, but Rogue One was the shit, dude. Rogue One was really fucking good. So, and I bring up Andor because a lot of the new Star Wars shit I don't really fucking like.
Yeah.
Like I tried, I couldn't really fucking care, and apparently the new season sucks. I don't know.
I haven't finished it. I fell off after the second episode of the season.
I fell off. I fell off in season 2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so now I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. Boba Fett was meh. I never got into Clone Wars. I don't know. Like, I know people
do it. Yeah.
I know a lot of people say Clone Wars is great, but I just never got into it. But then I just randomly clicked Andor one day because it came out and they were kind of hyping it. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. I remember I watched 5 minutes of it and I was like, wait a minute, I gotta watch Kenobi before I can't start Andor and I haven't even watched any of Kenobi. So I watched all of Kenobi and I was like, it's solid, it's all right. But then I started watching Andor and I was like, this is the first time in forever that I was like waiting for the next episode.
Really?
Like, dude, it's so fucking good. So now that it's all out, dude, you can just binge it and it's fucking great.
Okay.
Because I would have to sit there and be like, fuck, I wonder what's gonna happen, dude. Because it's really well written. It's very Rogue One-y. Obviously, it's kind of the prelude to that. But yeah, dude, it's just really well done, really well written. Fuck, like, the writing is great. The tension they build, the storylines, and like, you know, the character development, and, you know, the little subplots that if you're a Star Wars fan, you know what it's all leading to, kind of. It's fucking amazing, dude. Andor's great, but
yeah. All right, I'll give it a watch. So did you read Jurassic Park before the movie came out?
No, dude. I read that last year for the first time. My buddy,
really?
'Cause I don't know how many people. I mean, you had to be alive and like reading level in the 90s to have read that before you ever saw the movie. You know what I mean? So
when did it come out? Jurassic Park 94.
The book,
the movie.
The movie came out in 93.
Okay,
I know that because I was born in 93.
Okay,
but I was born after it came out. I was born in October, and I think it came out in June or something. But the book came out in 1990. Then the movie came out in 93. So a lot of people don't know before the book was published, Michael Crichton had written it. And, you know, I think at this point he was already an established author in that genre. So like people knew him.
Yeah.
So before it even got published, Universal and Steven Spielberg bought the rights to make 6 movies to it before they even published the book.
Whoa.
So like when people are like, well, they should have never made a sequel, or they should have just whatever. It's like, dude, this was planned in 1990, dude. It was all gonna happen anyway. Like, it was all, you know, kind of planned to be that way. But yeah, so like that book came out in 1990, movie 93. Second book, which I have not read yet. Did I say read?
Read.
I haven't read that yet. Yeah, that came out in 95, I guess, and then the Lost World movie in 97. So, but yeah, I just gotta buy that book. I just gotta because someone gave me the first book.
Yeah.
When someone gives you something, it's so much easier to just do it. It's like, I got to buy it. I hate buying anything in general. It's like, now I got to buy a book. I fucking hate books in general.
Yeah.
Like, but that one, I got to buy it and read it. But
I need to reread the first one because is it pretty different from the movie?
Yes and no, man. Like, there's a lot of similarities. So when you read it, when I read it last year, the whole time I was just like, fuck, why didn't they make the movie like this?
Yeah.
Knowing full well that you can't. Like, you can't word for word it, bro. It's just like Harry Potter, I think, did the best job of any series in terms of like trying to stick to the book.
Yeah.
Like, Harry Potter does a great job. And like those first couple movies are hella long because of it. And I think eventually they kind of had it, like with the third Harry Potter, they kind of made some adjustments.
Yeah, they
I
did.
think that's when they got a new director, right? The third movie, I think.
I'm not sure, but I actually weirdly just finished the third one this morning. I
book?
put it on. The movie. Well, I finished the book yesterday.
Okay.
And I watched the ending of the third one.
Yeah, the third one's great, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Harry Potter movies, for the most part, are really good, but I think they did the best job of sticking to the book. But with Jurassic Park, it was like, the book's a lot gorier, so it's like, okay, you're either going to make it rated R or you're going to tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
And, they're always going to tone it down because they want to make money off it.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, like that's, that movie didn't have to be that gory because you want kids to be able to watch shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like adults are like, dude, there's some fucking blood everywhere. It's like, yeah, man, but even not all adults are going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're going to really make this. The book was so successful that it's like you can't make the movie that niche. You know what I mean? So I get why they did that, but yeah, so I didn't read the book till last year, but
it actually was the first book I ever read in my life.
Wow.
When I think I was like 5 years old. I read that book.
See, my parents didn't even let me watch those movies when I was a kid. So I'd have to like sneak over to someone's house and watch like the third one when it came out or whatever.
So I was born in 87. So I saw it in theaters when it first came out.
Fuck you.
And dude,
do you know Yonder?
Yeah.
Yonder, same thing. He was
really?
His first movie he saw in theaters, and he was 7 or whatever. So
yeah, I had nightmares for weeks after seeing it in theater. The night that I first saw Jurassic Park, like when Timmy was getting, or when the girl was getting pulled up into the vents, my dad always tells a story about how my legs like went up above my head, trying to when you're like vicariously pulling yourself up.
Yep.
And that night I slept in the closet.
Yeah.
With a lamp. I didn't even have a flashlight. Mm-hmm. And I would aim the lamp around the room.
Yeah.
Looking for dinosaurs that were going to just
knowing full well that in the movie when she shines the lamp, the T-Rex comes over.
See,
but 5-year-old you was like, or no, 7 year. How old were you?
I think it was
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
You were born 89?
87.
87. Okay. So you'd have been 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was born November of 87. So I was right at the cusp.
Yeah.
So
you were 7.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, yeah, what a dumbass. I was attracting a T-Rex, basically.
It just showed you, and you're like, well, I got to move, right? I got to move. It's like, no. Your dad's probably like, did you not listen? You're like, I was shitting my pants the whole time. You took a 7-year-old to see a PG-13. Because my parents were super strict on that 13. Was it Revenge of the Sith was PG-13. And that came out 05. So I think I was still 12 technically, but my mom took me to see it.
Oh, hell
and she was like, you're close enough.
Yeah.
You've been dressing as Darth Maul for 4 straight Halloweens. Like,
dude, same. I had a Darth Maul outfit that I would just throw on when I could.
I had this rubber head mask that because I remember I got another Darth Maul mask a couple years later, but it was just like the plastic shitty one with the string. So I was like, dude, man. Like I said, my mom made me take so much shit home every time I go home. Like this last time, a bunch of shit. But certain things, I don't know where that is. Yeah. That's probably been gone forever. You know what I mean? But I had the double-bladed lightsaber, the plastic shitty one. And my brother had, I think, the green one or whatever. And we were on some family trip to D.C. And we're at the hotel parking lot. And then my parents are checking in. And we're outside battling. And my brother fucking cuts mine in half just like the movie, dude. And I just start crying. And I remember I went and told my dad, I was like, you cut my lightsaber in half. And my dad's like, wasn't that what happened in the movie? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, what happened in the movie? I was like, they kept fighting. He's like, well, go keep fighting with your brother. I'm trying to check into this hotel who's fucking with us right now. And I'm just like, and I did not keep fighting.
Pretty impressive that he actually cut a lightsaber in half. That's a tight move.
It is and it isn't, because they were plastic, bro. Yeah. Those were not well made, bro. Because I think you could still buy some of those, and you read the reviews, and people are like, oh, these are pieces of shit, dude. These are not good. Yeah. And it's like, so you either buy that or you buy the $300 fucking can't even take it off the shelf lightsaber, and it's like, man, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money to buy the $300 one, and I don't have enough money to piss away on a $20 one that's going to break. Yeah. The first time that I fucking try to swing it at anything. So, yeah, man.
Why do you think Jurassic Park is the only dinosaur series that has ever blown up?
I think there's a couple things. Anything that comes after that, people are just going to look at it like it's hack. So there's partially that. And then I think the other thing is just people kind of associate Jurassic Park with dinosaurs in media.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it right, you got to spend a lot of money.
True.
So any other studio that isn't Universal is looking at it like, are we really going to try to compete with that? Put the money into competing with that. So they all say no. And then any other dinosaur movie that gets made is low budget. And
that's
it's like,
the big problem.
Yeah, so it's like you don't want a low budget. It's like low budget sci-fi always sucks.
Yeah.
Sharknado or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like, they try to make off-brand Star Wars shit. They try to make off-brand everything, and it's just always shitty because it's like you need the budget, but once it's out there, no one's gonna make a Harry Potter knockoff at a high level.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek is the only thing kind of, and that came out so long ago that it's part of our culture, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but I don't hate it either. It's if you like it, you like it. But it's different enough from Star Wars to where, there's obviously the people who argue back and forth, but like they know there's going to be an audience, so they'll put money into making it. It all comes down to money, right? It's like no one's gonna fucking put the money into making a big budget, well done dinosaur movie, knowing that, a lot of people aren't going to see it because it's not Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to shit on it because it's not Jurassic Park. A lot of people are going to just, criticize it and this, that, and the other. And no studio's taking that risk.
Yeah.
No studio's taking that risk, bro. Like, even they came out with 65. I don't know if you saw that or something.
I haven't seen it. I actually wanted to watch it.
You saw the previews though?
Yeah.
So that movie, I saw it. I thought it was cool. It's short. It's 90 minutes. It's very simple. It's straight. So like, if you want to make a dinosaur movie at this point, I think you got to be as simple as fuck with it. You can't be elaborate. Like, and Jurassic Park was lucky because Michael Crichton wrote that book so elaborately. Like that book is you read it as an adult because like there's so much shit in there where you're like, oh my God, he was ahead of his time, bro.
Yeah.
The way he's talking about computers and genetics, especially post-COVID, in a post-COVID world, you read a lot of this shit and you're like, oh my God, scientists going rogue, making shit in a lab that they had no real authority to do, no oversight, no regulation, people just doing this shit kind of in obscure little places in the world. And then it gets out and it can be a threat to the world. Yeah. Right? So like he's talking about this shit fucking 30 years ago.
Damn.
And the computer stuff and all of that. So like they had that going for them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just a dinosaur movie and it's like, it's an action movie. It's like a superhero movie. It's like, there's no themes to it, right? Yeah. But he was just such a great writer that he was able to put themes into it beyond just dinosaurs, right? It's like, there's the whole theme of control, right? It's like, once we have control, it's like, you never had control. That was it. So in the book, man, like every other chapter is named control. Yeah. Because they're always trying, like, it's a series about like where Star Wars talks about politics. I think Jurassic Park talks about corporate greed because it's constantly bringing this idea of like, InGen just fucking pushing it through because they need to make money off it, right? Yeah. The whole theme of that first movie is like, well, why are they going to the island? Well, the investors who put all this money into it are starting to get nervous because you don't really seem to have this control that you said you were going to have over this genetic shit that you created, right? Yeah. And, so that's a deep theme that even if you don't know that that's what it is, you're starting to pick that up while you're watching it. You're like, oh shit, it's kind of out of control and everything. So
Dr. Malcolm's quote about life finds a way.
So yeah, I mean that the movie is a lot deeper, just like Star Wars is a lot deeper than people want to say. Great films, great anything. It's got to have some deeper meaning than just lightsaber battles or fucking dinosaurs chasing you or in Harry Potter Quidditch. You know what I mean? Like little shit like that. That's what keeps it exciting. That's what keeps kids involved. That's what keeps it like not boring because otherwise it's just a fucking like dialogue heavy movie and nobody wants that. You want to see, right? That's why you go to the movies to see. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can't say that there's not demand for it because even Jurassic World Dominion made $1 billion. So it's like the demand is there, but it's like you got to do it right. Mm-hmm. You don't want to take a loss on a film. And, I think a lot of people know that it's like if it's not well written, dude, like it's just going to suck. Yeah. That's what the new Star Wars were. They weren't, George Lucas, Did he write Star? He wrote all of them?
No, he wrote the first 3, and then
he wrote those, though, right? Yeah. I know he didn't direct them all, but he wrote them, right?
He wrote those ones, and he even said that. I saw an interview with him where he said that this is a story about political systems.
Yeah,
and when things get corrupt, and then it's like, oh, you did that, but you flavored in all this other geeky stuff and like Star Wars and lightsabers that made it so cool.
Yeah,
and it was those stories that, like, you know, the deeper meaning is what got everybody hooked.
Well, and even the original trilogy, I love the prequels partially because that's my generation, but it also gives you like the prequels, I think, shows you what, like, how a democracy or whatever republic or this and that, how it can devolve into the empire, because the original ones just start with the empire.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's looking at it like, well, this is a corrupt system and these are the rebels fighting against it. It's like, it's something everyone can comprehend, but it just starts there, right?
Yeah.
With the prequels, it was like, I want to show you how we got there. And a lot of people were like, this is fucking boring, dude. This is fucking, you know, scenes in the Senate and shit like that. Where's the lightsabers, right? And it's like, I'll give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you the best lightsaber battle in history, all right? I feel like I'm talking like Trump. I'm going to give you the best lightsaber. He's got it double-bladed. It's great. He's got horns, all right? He can jump. Darth Maul, I love him. He's great.
Dude, he's got a spray tan. It's just a red spray tan.
Yeah, dude. It's like, so the whole time it's like, you know, that's episode 1. Episode 2 kind of sucks, but like, you know, the idea of like, oh shit, dude, this clone army was created by a rogue Jedi master who went to the dark, and it's like, that's where the stormtroopers came from, and you know, all this shit. It's like, yeah, the prequels are fucking deep. And you know, people will meme all the time like, oh, this is how democracy dies with thunderous applause or whatever. I think that's from the third movie, right? But it's like, even in that movie, Palpatine's talking about, oh, once this crisis is over, I'll put down my emergency powers.
Yeah.
Fucking, where have you heard that before, right? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, dude, you know, at the time, American society was so great. You could just, no one even thought about like, this is just Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Nobody thinks about the wars part of it. That's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. It's like wars.
Yeah.
Trek. It's like the war part of it. It's like, how do wars start, right? You know, maybe Palpatine is the same guy on both sides. He's like, he's the one pushing the trade dispute in that first movie, and at the same time, he's the one trying to fight it in the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many nefarious actors are there?
Yeah.
They're everywhere, you know? You don't even have to be a conspiracy theorist to be like, yeah, there's bad people in politics.
Yeah.
And Star Wars nailed that shit. But Jurassic Park is like the corporate version of that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, yeah, dude, the company cut corners, but they say they spared no expense. But like at some point, it just doesn't add up. Clearly you did spare expenses, right? But, and then even like within that, it's like, well, the whole reason this guy's stealing all this shit is because you didn't pay him enough, right? Dennis Nedry, the reason he's stealing the fucking things is so he can sell them to Biosyn and make more money because you didn't pay him enough or you didn't pay what he thought was worth. Yeah. So it's like, it's just, it's an analogy about corporations and science. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's perfect science fiction, dude. And this is, you know, this is my post-COVID take on it. Because like now that all this shit has happened in our society, it's like, it makes these movies, Star Wars and fucking Jurassic Park and other things too, I'm sure. It just like makes them more relatable because you see that when you're a kid, you just see the dinosaurs and the lightsabers and the wands and that's it. But like as an adult, you go back and you watch it and you're like, even with Harry Potter, dude. Yeah. You watch the last couple of Harry Potters, or even it starts from the beginning, but like the whole theme of Voldemort, right? Death never really goes away. Yeah. He still has followers. They're less than ever, but it's like, you know, as things get more corrupt in the wizarding world or whatever, more people, the evil starts to rise too. Yeah. And it's like, you have to fight against that evil. Even the evil takes over Hogwarts, right? Yeah. Isn't that a crazy analogy where it's just like, dude, Hogwarts in Harry Potter always seemed to be this thing where it's like, that was Harry's refuge. That was the safe place. That was, you know, you got Dumbledore there, even though he's gay, he's not fucking kids. So it's all good. He's teaching them and shit like that. You know, I'm just saying, like, the Hogwarts is supposed to be this, like, fucking central, safe institution of learning, and even that gets taken over by evil. Yeah. It's like, dude, that's our society. And people focus on shit like, well, there's not enough black actors in Harry Potter. It's like, God, you missed the fucking point, dude. Yeah. You missed the point completely, dude. And it's like, I mean, good science fiction, any good story, like, it's good comedy too, right? It's gotta have like a little bit of reality mixed into it. It's like, yeah, obviously the punchline's absurd. It's fucking crazy. It probably didn't actually happen, but if you start with something that's like good world building you were talking about, it's got to start with your actual world that we live in, because otherwise, how the fuck can, like, bad sci-fi? It's like I can't even see myself in that world. But Star Wars, you're like, I could see myself on a desert planet, just trying to get the fuck out, and you know, there's this oppressive regime that's keeping everyone down and shit like that. So that's why I think those are great, man. That's why I like them. And I'm a nerd, but you know, whatever.
That was one of the most prolific takes I've seen on Star Wars and Jurassic Park and Harry Potter all rolled up.
Bro, I mean, it's otherwise they wouldn't be successful.
Yeah.
Like if you're not tapping into some sort of consciousness that we all share in some way or the other, right? Like that's why there's the everyman character. That's why stories have certain arcs, and you know, there's got to be a love story, or there's got to be some sort of rivalry or battle, or master versus apprentice. Like, it's not even like that original, right? Like, I mean, I've heard people make analogies with the Bible for shit like that, where it's like, oh, there was a kid who was born into an orphanage, and he grew up poor, but then he finds out that he's got this crazy history, and his parents are actually, you know, whatever. It's like, oh, it's their Harry Potter's Jesus. It's like, well, you could say A New Hope, same thing, right? Orphan kid, you know, whatever, and he has to go fight his dad or whatever. It's like, you know, so I don't view that as like, it's not hacky. It's just, that's the story of humans. The story of humans is good and evil, love and hate, turning on your family, then your family coming back, making friends along the way who, you know, maybe you had no idea. Han Solo was supposed to be a ride. He was supposed to get you there, and that was it. Yeah. Right? He had his own shit going on with Jabba the Hutt, but like, you know, and you never know what passenger you're going to pick up that, you know, ends up you fuck her sister or whatever, his sister. You have a kid, and he's
what are
Kylo
the odds? In the universe,
I
end
think
up with your sister. The
crazy thing about the sequels is I think there was so much potential with like a guy like Kylo Ren being the son of I want to say Harrison Ford. What the fuck is his name?
Solo?
Han Solo. Yeah. Like being the son of Han Solo and Leia, like, and then Luke being his former master, but now he's not, or whatever. I feel like there was so much potential with that it just got all wasted on like nostalgia and, you know, reacting to how fans reacted to the first movie and trying to base, and how they reacted to the second movie, and trying to base everything on making fans happy without like focusing on what is the story here? What is the what are we trying to get people to relate to? Because if all you're using is nostalgia, you're just relating to shit you used to relate to. And that's it's like surface level relating. Yeah. It's not really, it's like when you do jokes that are all about, you know, just cultural shit without having any analysis of it. You're just like, oh, you know, you do a reference to this, and you're like, oh, that's like that, and that's like that. It's like, okay, but what about tie it all together? Like you were saying, it's got to be a movie at the end of the day. It's got to be all tied together. And if it's just like, oh, there's the Millennium Falcon again. Oh, this is fucking Lando Calrissian is back. Or
they're doing like Star Wars slide transitions throughout the whole thing. And
man,
forced.
And it sucks because like, I feel like, and I think that's probably why Kylo Ren is the most popular character from that, is because that character had something.
It was tied in.
Yeah, dude. It was not only tied in, but it was also like, I think people can relate more to a guy who's like, he just wants to live, he wants to be his grandfather, right? He wants to do what Darth Vader wasn't able to or whatever. It's like, you know, we all kind of have that, we want to bring glory to our heritage type thing or where we came from. But with Rey, it was just like, okay, she's the orphan. Cool, fine. But it didn't go anywhere. She's just an orphan the whole time. Oh, but she has Jedi powers, and now she's related to Palpatine somehow. It's like, when it doesn't make sense, you know, people don't have to know why it doesn't make sense. It's like, you don't have to be a musician to know that, oh, that note was sharp. Or it was flat, or I don't know if it was sharp or flat, but it didn't sound right. Yeah. It sounded
You might not know what's wrong with it, but something's wrong with it.
Something's wrong. It's like your car, dude. It's like, it's not supposed to make that noise. Yeah. It's not, dude. And that's why the sequel trilogy, I think, sucked, because it got away from what made Star Wars great.
Yeah. And they had 3 different writers and directors for those last 3 movies. They kept switching.
That makes it real tough. It's just that consistency. Well, they were making them for money. They weren't making them because I think the prequels, they were partially made for money, but George Lucas still directed all those, right? So like he had a vision, dude, and it's like Joe Rogan has a vision for Austin, and I think that's why the people who moved here because they can relate to that vision. They want to see that become reality and everything like that. But when things are just like, oh shit, she's calling me. when things are just like all over the map, dude, people figure it out.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing with a comedy set. It's like it's not connecting, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are a lot smarter than people give them credit for. But they don't know why they understand things, but they do. Yeah. So if you're a creator of whatever movies, anything, if you're a writer in any sense, you got to understand like who's your audience and what is the shared experience that we as humans have. And it's like, how are you going to be able to make that make sense? And then throw some cool shit in there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Marcus, it has been an amazing episode.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, we got to have you back, and we'll just talk only about movies. We'll have a special movie only.
Okay,
podcast.
I didn't want to come in with any like I'm wearing this shirt, so we're gonna fucking talk about it. It's like I was going to wear this shirt probably anyway.
I think it was great. Where can people find you online?
At Beard Von Markus, Beard VonMarkus on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah,
shows all over Austin, Detroit,
and outside of Austin,
and
outside of Austin, not just in Austin. I don't want to be.
Where else
flyer.
are you?
This is where I get to only plug my Austin shows after I just said all that. East Austin on Tuesday. When does this come out?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. What time on Wednesday?
I don't know, man. 11 a.m.
Okay. All right. Hey, if you're just watching it, I'll be at the Vulcan tonight, Wednesday, May 17th. I'm doing Roscoe's, the new spot. I haven't been there yet. There. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing
great
that
room,
Thursday.
Great audio.
Fuck yeah, dude. Doing Roscoe's on Thursday. I'm doing Sunset on Friday. So that's this upcoming week, all in Austin. And then next Friday, I'm hosting for Alex Stein at the Vulcan.
Oh, awesome.
You know Alex Stein?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a psycho, but he's fucking hilarious, and he's a really nice guy off stage. Like he's very, very friendly, fucking cool guy. So those are all in Austin. Even though I just said I'd be outside of Austin, I don't even know what my next non-Austin show. Oh, Houston. 27th and 28th of May, Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Houston at the where the fuck am I? I think a secret group maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look, but yeah.
Thank you very much for doing this episode.
Hell
Go
yeah.
see him, follow, subscribe, like for great Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter content.
Oh, we didn't even get to Indiana Jones. Fuck, dude. All right, well, next time.
Continued.
Hell yeah.